Okay. Whoa. Wow. Do we got a show for you? Oh man, I can't believe it. I can't believe it, folks. We hit 2K. 2K the other day. For real. I'm telling you, 2K. Thank you so much. Now, I know that's because of the old Metzger trend that's happening. Kurt Metzger is trending. And how can you not be when he's putting out 3 to 5 a week plus shows on the weekends and traveling? Can't believe it. And we have another one. Okay, we got another one. But I gotta say, folks, thank you for subbing and liking and commenting. That helps the algorithm. And wow, we've got a few spikes there. Okay, so we got we got a lot of eyes on us, and there some of them are. And look at Jimmy Kennedy covers his up constantly. Most of them just roll them in the back of their head. Look at all of them. But thank you so much. And typically we let Kurt Metzger his shows breathe a bit. Give it a little bit of time. But I did see that he was on Jason Banner Bermans show. And the only alternative is a lot of Epstein stuff. Look at this, folks. 10 untouched compilation content, comedy content curators, all in that pool of Epstein. And look at, barely seen a single one. Okay? So this is the other thing that I would like to watch. Apparently Rogan said this is the best episode ever in podcast and television history, kind of thing. And it is hitting big time. So this is kind of what we are all achieving for. You know, we want to be the ranters. We want to rant and speak from the soul. And it looks like Tim Dillon was at peak performance on this one. So it'd be nice to take a look at. I was going to lead with this one. And I saw that this had just finished. And again, usually we like to give these episodes some time to breathe. But I figured the way that he's pumping these out, might as well just do it right now. While people are kind of in the Metzger mode, and then we can hop back onto some other shows. And by then, I bet we'll get a nice Jamie Kennedy interview, another Club Random, something we can another We Might Be Drunk. Oh man, I can't wait for another We Might Be Drunk. Okay, the Norman Nudge game, I've got an idea where we just play how many points for the first 30 minutes, the guest is there. And for those who don't know, here's the Norman Nudge number breakdown. And that is whenever Mark Norman tries to tap and hit his guest, nudge him.
Drunk.
Here we are.
What's up, dude? Congrats on that Seahawks.
See, right there. That was 5 pats on the back and a shoulder. So I got to change that to 5. I thought it was 4, but I listened closely and it was 5 hits. 5 hits. So throughout the whole podcast, he nudges his guests. And they even get to the point where they're touching their thighs. So that's a great game, Norman Nudge. But we got another Metzger. Okay, Metzger. With this one, we're in it for Bermans. Is it Bermans? Jason Bermans. I want to see some of his dynamic again, and like I like to see it on his show, because when Jason was on Metzger's, we had some fun seeing a bit of their dynamic together. So I think this would be a nice little view, and maybe we won't even go through the whole thing. Maybe we'll jump into something else, but oh, Matt. Okay, so here we are. So thank you so much for that spike. Okay, ooh, man, those spikes get you going. Okay, I know those numbers are not everyday numbers, so thank you for those who participated. But here we are, back down to earth, and but we're gonna take one more dip in the Metzger, and see what we find in this one. Should be a good one. Now, after seeing a few of his, you'll hear the things that he reiterates and his kind of shtick. But there's usually a lot of current things that he'll add. So he's always adding to his rhetoric, his rant. So even though he's been on there for, this is third in a week plus some shows. So I'm in here to see Jason's world. All the banners. Okay, he's going to have a lot of banners everywhere. Jason Banner Bermans. But again, look at this. All Epstein stuff. All comedians that are in the files. That's what's out there right now. Although I would like to see Dan Soder at Matt and Shane's. It looks like they actually lit it this time. Matt McCustard isn't there. All right, here we are.
Hey, everybody. Jason Bermas here. And we
Bermans,
got 'em,
okay.
folks. The Epstein drop is huge. As you know, I've been doing all these other shows. I just did an hour on OAN. And as I've stated, this is a real...
Oh, he's an OAN guy, huh? I think I need to get my other headphones so I can... It's like I can barely hear it. Okay.
integral look into how the world really works and over the past 2 decades plus.
Welcome
So
to
it's
the
really
chat, Jan.
giving people insight to who does business with you, what's really going on. Now,
Another Metzger.
I got the cannibal thing in there off the bat because I think it's really important. I know that there is coded language in there. In fact, we're going to get into the pizza Leslie Groff.
Man, I haven't even begun to think about everything that all this stuff really entails. And I guess it's not on my list of things to get caught up on. But I suppose it is news. But I don't want to be MK Ultra'd and have PTSD because of the insanity that's out there.
One that we've already done. Kurt, Mr. Metzger, the astronaut, the judge, the pioneer, okay? The honorable Kurt Metzger. You sent me, and this is...
Quirp with a Q now.
Yeah. Quirp with a Q. I want to get into that too. You sent me this. Let's start here before.
Wait, first, can I just tell you about crypto real quick, dude? Now, I don't know if you notice there's problems in this world. Or how are we going to fight those problems, Jason? You tell me. Well, through Quirp Coin.
There's a new coin. Tell me about
I
this
coin.
Talk
about the files, but I want to get back. Hold on.
Yeah, exactly, Jen.
I had to a ponytail, and it's like...
It's so wild.
Okay. So
it's not working. But Quirp Coin, remind me to tell you about this later.
Okay. So today, we were kind of going back and forth because you posted about the 9/11 Shadow Commission. We're going to get there as well.
Oh, I just posted that file, nothing else, and then someone sent me a thing about who put that together.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, why did he invite Ghislaine? And then you said, I have these answers for you.
Well, it shows you that this woman is part of narrative management behind the scenes, because this guy is essentially somebody that wrote 3 different books on the JFK assassination, had close intel ties. Yeah. And when you look at the date on this thing, it is as the real commission is being put out there. So there's going to be a lot of media coverage surrounding the commission as well. This is why these are so important, because it's giving real insight to how the world works. But
wait, who is he talking? Who's he talking about? That wrote these books? The guy that Metzger just interviewed? He's like, oh yeah, Jason gets it.
Real commission.
Let me back it up here.
narrative management behind the scenes, because this guy is essentially somebody that wrote 3 different books on the JFK assassination, had close intel ties. And when you look at the date on this thing, it is as the real commission is being put out there. So there's going to be a lot of media coverage surrounding the commission as well. This is why these are so important, because it's giving real insight to how the world works. But getting back,
this background. I mean, my green screen sucks, but when you see, look, if you need evidence, what am I looking at here? I watched this fucking
we're gonna get into that too. I got that tweet up.
So Liver Spots there said Bannon is the most dangerous man who ever lived. And then look at the good old time. But then, like when I went to see ECW wrestling, and I saw Sandman and Raven. Okay, Raven had kidnapped Sandman's son and taken him to Japan. And anyway, it was an ongoing story. And then they get in the van, and it dawned on me then, Jason, I'll bet he didn't kidnap that man's son, and they have to wrestle to get him back. I'll bet that why would they ride in the same van together? I wouldn't ride with you if you kidnapped my son, took him to Japan. So that's why I put it together, Jason.
So,
he's saying his name.
Hold on. I want to get into this
red pills. I'm dropping
because you sent me a more.
He likes the pills.
So many of these files are over and over again because there are certain court cases where they're protected, and then there are less redactions and less redactions. So you sent me. I didn't know that Bobby Slayton. Hold on. Let me explain. Was in the email, because this is the one I had, and I've been talking about it, and I want to get into what this is.
Make it bigger. It's hard for me to see it.
Okay, so here I will
read it to me because I got old shaman eyes.
Yes, you do, and sunglasses. I mean, you are an astronaut.
Those aren't helping at all to read it.
Oh, they're not. I can't believe it.
I feel like they're hindering it a little bit.
Maybe. So this one, if you notice, all we know is Bobby. So we didn't have the information that you had sent me, because I was talking about that this is coded language. I'm not sure what this is, because people automatically think sex trafficking, but remember these people.
But look at all the banners, and then plus, I mean, look at all this. Plus, right all here too. So we got making sense of the madness, making sense of the madness. Support and broadcast. Support the broadcast. Support the broadcast. Look at it. Buy me coffee. The madness. Yeah. Yes, a lot of visual noise. That's why it's like this CNN kind of things that you see at the airport. But the second I get supertip.gg, I'll be posting those banners all day. So yeah, I get it. I mean, you gotta brand yourself.
People are into drugs.
Will you zoom in on it again? I just want to see it again, real quick. Wait.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, I know. Just because of okay, make it a little bit bigger, will you? Enhance. Wait.
So here it is here, and this is
do
where.
You want to read it, or do you want?
I'll read it.
Okay.
So basically, hello, Bobby. Okay, and again, I don't know this is Bobby Slayton, the comedian at the time.
It's Slayton, yeah.
Yes, and we're going to get into why that's important and why it's kind of, what I think. Hope you've been having a great time with you, honey. Reconfirming you will be come to see Jeffrey at 4 p.m. today. He says, leaving tomorrow early morning, and yes, of course, we will be there at 4. You need a pizza or anything. Yeah. And then it's, ha, ha, ha. I don't need a pizza, but thank you for offering. See you at 4 p.m. on the apartment info. Now, I don't know that is necessarily sex trafficking. I don't think it's a pizza.
Alone? No. How alone? I could be my Coke guy back in New York or something without any context. If you never heard of the word pizza being used over and over and over for the last 12 years, sure, it could mean something besides that. But keep in mind, Ben Swan, I just saw on Redacted again. The way he found out about that was on 4chan and 8chan.
Mhm.
Self-professed PDF files were saying,
Yes.
like working class PDF files were saying, hey, could they be into our thing? Because I that's what I call it, CP, a cheese pizza.
Whoa.
And so he discovered that the intrepid investigators that put together the real heroes of this were disgusting anime pedos on 4chan and who were like, hey, it's like People Magazine, stars are like us.
Well, let me just say
Look
this.
at that.
There's going to be plenty of 4chan talk today because there's a lot to talk about there. But you're right. Like, for instance, when that was going on, and I didn't know that, and especially when you're talking about CP, child,
Pizza?
the other
More
P
of a
word.
jerky guy.
Well, hold on. We're going to get there in a minute. Okay.
Why
So
don't you
when you're
freeze your
talking about
jerky?
that, that's why it's coded there. You're right. But
Mhm.
at the same time, pizza has been used for marijuana, cocaine, God knows what other drugs, all sorts of different things. Could certainly be used in the terminology
It's
of
not the only
traffic.
Bobby Slayton one with pizza. The other one that made me scream no in the bathroom, and Jenna said it to me.
Mhm.
You know that's wait. You want the other one? Do you
Hold
have it?
on. No, there's a ton of them.
No.
But this is what I'm
Oh
trying to say.
no, is there? Okay.
Well,
Oh, I love seeing Jason in his environment now because it makes sense why he was just like, whoa, biting his tongue the whole time on Metzger's show because, you know, when Metzger's on his show, ooh, he gets to control the ship. And he's like, no, we've got questions and things that we need to go through. Metzger's like, no, I'm in the flow. What? Hey, come on. I'm weaving.
oh yeah. Oh, it's in there a
I
lot.
know him.
Well, listen. That's
What's
what I'm
the
trying
John
to say.
Reap
Hold
files
on.
come
I'm
out?
not. All right. That's what give me a second, damn it.
Oh.
I love Kurt.
Release the Reap files,
Oh.
I say.
All right. So I don't know if he's guilty of anything. In fact, Bobby Slayton is one of the
All right, so I wonder if at some point Jason is going to yell at Kurt in the show.
comedians that went with Lewis Black at that one instance where
Whoa.
Lewis
Great
Black
story.
talks about, yes, that story about the
Did I
arms
tell you
dealing.
last time?
Yeah, we played it, I think.
I know. Is that wild? Okay.
Okay. But anyway, it shows again these networks, not everybody's guilty of all these crimes, but they could be into illicit behavior. Now, Slayton is also in like one of my favorite Curb Your Enthusiasm episodes.
Yeah,
the magical pussy episode. It's fantastic. The whole series is fantastic, but that's a good one. And I'm
you don't
good.
want to know about Larry David.
Well, I hope not.
You
But
don't.
again,
I don't.
I haven't seen anything in here about Larry David yet.
There's
So
nothing
hey,
in the files about it. But
all right.
Come on, what was he saying? See, Metzger wants to resonate. Now he's like, all right, I gotta wait my turn. And then he'll just hit you with a big one like Larry David. Is that what you said?
But that's a good one. And I'm pussy episode. It's fantastic. The whole series is fantastic. But that's a good one. And I'm
you don't
good.
want to know about Larry David.
Well,
oh my god.
I hope not.
You
But
don't.
again,
I don't.
I haven't seen anything in here about Larry David yet.
There's
So
nothing
hey,
in the files about it. But
all right. So let's get into the big one, the cannibal and all this other stuff. Okay.
Oh
Now,
my god.
Again,
Look at the
a lot of
banners.
jerky but at the same time, hold on. A lot of jerky.
Come on.
Well, hold on. Now, some of that's probably coded, but some of it's actually probably real meals and jerky with this guy. I didn't know the cannibal actually existed. So first we'll show everybody the thumbnail.
Wait, the what actually? Oh, the restaurant? You thought it was in a real place?
I didn't
You
know
thought
it was a real
cannabis,
place. So
maybe.
it is absolutely 100% a real place, everybody. Now,
Is it supposed to be weed though?
hold on. I'm not saying that. Let me.
Well, look how it's spelled. I'm saying
And who is that actor? Is that Army Hammer? That had that weird thing. It was like you got labeled as a cannibal.
Was it like a thing that's spelled so it looks like, oh, it's probably weed infused cooking, and that's why it's called cannibal?
No, it was like
No?
again only in friggin' Long Island and New York City. It was
We
one
gotta
of
know
those
some more.
like hipster, like you couldn't get it in LA because it was too much meat. So it was like the carnivore, but they called it the cannibal.
You
And
couldn't get it in LA because it was too. What does that mean?
well, come on, man. You know West Coast is pretty light on the meat out there. Like in LA and West Hollywood, to go to a good steakhouse, you got to go to a steakhouse. This was kind of
I
like
go to there's one I like that I went with Tommy. Well, anyway, wait.
yeah,
it's
I'm
a-
just saying that this is a legit restaurant, and this is the guy right here. It actually Rogan knows him. In fact,
What's the guy's name?
his name is here it is right here.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Francis Darby. So he appears in this. In fact, Long Island, what is this? GreaterLongIsland.com did an article on him a few days ago because he worked at the Cannibal. It's in here, and he's in the documents 1,321 times. So
Okay.
this is the
For making
jerky
a
chef.
great jerky.
Whoa.
I mean, I'm just saying that this is the
Whoa.
guy. I don't know necessarily what he's guilty of, and I don't know that every time they're talking about jerky, he's included. I just want to put that out
Wait,
there.
we mean Joe knows him. They hang out. What do you mean?
So Rogan apparently, hold on, let's type it in. Joe, and by the way, they tried to recruit Rogan in this. You know that? He's in the files.
Dude, okay, on Jimmy's show, and also, okay.
Go ahead.
So a year and a half ago, I thought I told you this. Maybe I didn't. I could have sworn I did, but I only had the one email. But the initial after the first Epstein arrest, Rogan shows to me why he goes. This is how weird it was. So Lawrence Krauss, whenever he did his show, it was back then.
Mm-hmm.
So Lawrence Krauss, who's like a swinger, and he said he was like feeling his muzzle, and like, oh, my wife would love you. Like, it was already
Oh,
weird.
yum.
All the physicists.
Yeah, it feels fake, like the way that Jason is kind of interacting, or the whole Epstein file thing. Oh, you think it's a psyop? Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, there's something about it that seems a little too yeah, it's like it's too neatly packaged or something. Yep.
Dude, go look at all of them. They all are sexual freak weirdos, even the crippled ones for some reason. I don't get it. So anyway, he so this is after the first Epstein arrest. So Joe Googled Epstein, and it was a teen prostitution charge. And he was like, is this guy like a pedophile? Okay, he showed me their interaction and was, oh, I assure you, he's no pedophile. And neither is Woody Allen, and he wants to meet you as well.
Oh, boy.
So Joe didn't go to it and didn't even respond. Okay.
Yes, no, I noticed that. And that's
So we saw now.
That was Lawrence Krauss. Lawrence Krauss was trying to get Rogan. And, Lawrence Krauss is... You guys... let's see if I can... You got like flash with a white light just to search for something. So it's that guy. An old Yaley. That's right, Mark. Yep. So this is all with Rogan turning down the The whole party. It's like, didn't really send in their best. Maybe the kind that appeals to, that would appeal to Rogan, though. All right. So interesting, yeah. Might be a little psyop. Okay. Seems a little too perfect. Get this battle between evil and good, the devil and God, and that way you can get all the fundamentalist and radical people, even in Islam, to fight against this. And then, you know, the Christians and the Muslims fight against this evil.
On Jimmy's show, the other side of the conversation where he goes, Joe's timid. So here's what I've seen personally. I'm sure you can put him off if he wants. I think he should, because it's at a point of his choosing, because I think it's funny. So in the second arrest now, Lawrence Krauss starts hounding Joe on his emails, kind of like he keeps emailing him like, hey, you need to get back to me, because he's freaking out because he had invited Joe to the island, and Joe.
Oh wait, okay. So again, this is Jason's show, and he likes to be at the helm. He likes controlling things, but Metzger, he likes to get going, and he should be able to keep going. He's not like someone like Jason where he can just say these talking points. He's got to get it going. Now, it seems as though Jason went out of his way to get one of those keyboards from the 1990s. The really clickety clackety ones. And it is his passive aggressive way of showing you that he is not paying attention to you. Now, he is in fact not typing to anyone. He is just making the noise so that you can hear him not paying attention. Here we are.
Hounding Joe on his emails, kind of like he keeps emailing him like, hey, you need to get back to me.
He wants to get
freaking out because he had invited Joe to the island, and Joe never got back to him. And he's got a series of emails from Lawrence Krauss that are more and more cortisol based, frantic, like almost.
That's too loud.
Take him as vaguely threatening, like you better
like,
this or that. Which is here's how I take it. Is much like in Nexium or the other thing, or what's his name? Who's the other? Like he had to bring people in like a pyramid scheme. Like I have you, and now you got to go bring.
Pay attention, like Jason.
Would do, or a lot of these things of like go and
put
in your upline and downline.
Mm-hmm.
If you think of stupid Amway things and MLMs, these people. And so someone's in their upline and downline, and you get dangled in front of you. Now, the quality of the bauble being dangled in front of you to be in one, that'll vary. If you're real high up, you could have.
Now, this is going to be even worse, because he'll go on full screen like this, and then he'll just do it right on over you. So he'll let you go full screen, but he's going to type away the whole time.
Beautiful Jordan Kushner skin forever.
Oh, geez. Listen,
I'm just giving you an example. Of
Kushner also
out.
in the documents. And by the way, so far I may have just misspoken on Rogan and the chef. I thought that somehow I was reading things about like It might
Only
have
two
been some other.
people that I know of, only
Yes.
two people told Epstein to go fuck himself in so many words, whether they said it or not, and that's Norman Finkelstein, the King Norman Finkelstein.
In so many
explained-
words. That's in the emails.
Oh no, Norman really did. He in pure New York went like, "You should throttle him." You know.
Oh, wait a second. Wizard says they were monitoring the comments in Bermas's chat. Oh, I threw a couple banners up there. Oh my god. Yeah, he would misspell something. I mean, look at that little cheeker. You know, like he's all cheeky. He would do something like that just to think that he's not in on it. If we could just tone down, like, it's just, it's so bright and so busy. Come on, Jason, we just want to see you, man. Okay? We don't see all this busyness. We want to see the Bermas.
He's like, I could hear his accent.
Yeah.
The King who explained Gaza to me never understood the situation until Norman Finkelstein came on the show and explained it.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't complicated. I thought it was really complicated, Jason, over there. And it turns out, no, it ain't. Just like these files, it ain't complicated, assholes. Oh,
yeah, big old chompers.
In it, huh? That's why I just watched Bongino say, "Oh, you okay? You want to talk about?" Yeah, Dan, we said that before. You wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
I know you have custody of the information. You're a single parent of information right now, and it's hard for you. You don't have your old job. You're trying to raise this information right.
He seems like he's purposely like closing his mouth, though.
Come along and, anyway,
look at
this dickhead goes. He's
like,
it's full of Democrats. Yeah,
man, I forgot he used to do this. He was one of the first ones I saw that flipped his eyes inside of his head. That's what started the whole thing. Was yeah, he does these eye rolls. I forgot about that.
Raise this information right, and these guys like Dave Smith want to come along and.
Oh my god. Oh, what's that? Oh my god. Oh, we got another one. We got another one. What are they doing? Oh my god. Seriously, what are they doing? Why? Oh man. Oh my god. Oh my god. Man. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So you will be going in the slideshow. Man, I forgot. He was the one who started it. He was the one who started it. I was just like, what is he doing? And then all of a sudden, I saw everyone do it. Oh my God. People love rolling their eyes back. All right, here we go. Those are the moments, folks. Those are the moments that this show is all about. Why? Oh my God. I mean, be kind to yourself, my friend. Jeez. That one just looks like it hurts. Stop. Oh my God. His X-Men face. My God. He needs those. The Oliver, the guy from Reading Rainbow. He needs those eyeglasses. Oh man. I just called to say. Man. All right, here we go.
This dickhead goes.
Wow, look at that.
He goes, it's full of Democrats.
So, I mean, sorry. First, I was just noticing his, because you mentioned his teeth. So then, right when you said that, he started covering his mouth, and he was just like, like, is he watching us? And then he did the eye roll there. So he's just closing his mouth and.
Yeah. So now, and I go, okay, why did you cover up for Democrats then? Why did Trump cover up for Democrats? Do you see their plan of making it a cover up by slowing the release? Mm-hmm. That's usually how cover ups work. They give you information.
Oh, he's going to pretend to type.
Very snail's pace. So there's no such thing as UFOs. It's swamp gas. Then they suddenly go, oh, there are. We're changing the brand of UFOs to UAP because UFO, just like collusion and conspiracy. Conspiracies. We want to say Trump is colluding with Russia, not using a conspiracy with Russia, because we crap the term conspiracy up. Thanks to you, Jason Bermas, and your conspiracies, right? Mm-hmm. And then now we have collusion.
Oh my God!
So that's a very sophisticated form of, if you want to call it psychology, you can. It's occultic magic. That's what the psychology is. Freud and all them, they're taking these tricks of ancient corrupt priests who would breed and control leaders like inbred fucking dogs. Okay, like.
Oh, Wizard, you're hitting them in the chats with it. Oh my God! Wait, so you mean that probably it was around this time that he actually closed his mouth because you had said something? Oh my! Let's open up the chat. Now I'm never one to show another man's chat, but if we got oh my God. Oh man. All right. Let's see if it pops up here when I play it, or I might have to restart it.
Think of Egypt, how they found King Tut.
Okay.
And they thought he was murdered, but they realized he was just so deformed that he hit his head or something. And they're like, Akhenaten, he might have been an alien. Yeah, maybe, but also these people were inbred to the point that they look like the Nightbreed. So, maybe. So you always have a corrupt priest class. There are programmers. When you see Elon Musk with a Mormon guy who's his right-hand man,
I'm trying
to be from a Mormon family band in Idaho.
Get my screen out of the way.
Programmer, just so you know. J.R. Sweet, get his book, everybody. MormonMonarch.org.
So you're saying that it was probably around that time that you've mentioned his big veneers. Oh my God, that is so funny. Because I noticed right when you had said that, his mouth closed. I'm like, wait, what? But you're saying that you had. Oh my God, that's so funny. All right, here we go. There was some point where I jumped in and
I just found out on the Dirt with Curve, Jason, and
mentioned his banners.
Because look, I believe all this shit, but I also can't believe it. So when something when something turns out to be like true like that, even though I'm saying it, I'm like, holy shit, really? I was so holding out hope at the last minute that I was way off on this. What a sweet kid I am, the corp shaman. It's so much worse, dude.
Well, all right. So let's talk about it a little bit, because let's go back to where you first started, kind of like how they're framing it all Democrats, Bongino and all these guys.
The Democrats hit it and you hit it. You asked, why was Massey? So Massey is the only guy who wants to take down the Dems.
I mean, first of all,
And
Massey continues to be the man, and that exchange with Bondi was incredible. But let's look at this. Howard Lutnick was out there beating the drum.
That's Trump's handler.
So he was out there beating the drum. About how, I don't know if you've seen the interview where he gets asked about Epstein.
Yeah, we played on Jimmy's. He's laughing like a MK Ultra programmer. Arrogance.
Well, he just tells this story about he went in with the wife, this huge place.
Massage table of all things he saw. Ew, this man's a pervert. There's a massage table right in the open.
And
come on, we'll get our jerky elsewhere.
All I'm saying is, you want to believe him when he says it, but then you look at that scenario that Epstein out loud says the good kind, when it's just the three of them and the wife's next to him, and then they literally just walk out. Okay, again, I want to believe in fairy tales and unicorns sometimes.
Well, then they brought their kids there, and
there's my point.
The ages of kids, so I hope the amount of kids they mention in their emails left with them. I haven't seen a follow-up email. But probably bringing them to get a good Epsteining in a tiny dental chair, I'd wager. A good programming. Do you understand the Jason prod, all that shit with the wealthy and their kids? The goal is to make your kids withstand a certain amount of cortisol that would kill a normal, non-psychopathic human being. Because if you're going to be pull the levers of power, Jason, that's why you'll never be anything. Because you understand this, dude. Okay, you don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not willing to get in the chair. I'm not willing.
You got to know the adults. You got to know how to hold your adrenaline.
Not the kids that want to talk about Building 7. The adults. Mm-hmm. There's real realities to life. Like you got Gaza, you got to kill all them kids. That's reality. Sorry, Jason. Sorry that the world is and the bloodlines, the inbred elite bloodlines. Okay, and of course they should be inbred. They're so awesome, and this is what I don't get: the ingratitude towards the establishment. Look how great everything's been, and then you want, can't you Steven Pinker this a little bit, Bermans? Can't you just think in a nice Pinker that if you lived 100 years ago, you'd probably be dead in a war.
Actually, 100 years ago, all I'm saying, 100 years ago, if you did stay out of World War I and World War II,
how the mind works, Steven Pinker.
That's like if you were like 20 then, let's say in the 20s or 30s or 40s, there's a good chance that you could actually have a big family, have a big house, have a couple of cars, 40-hour work week. I mean, that's when things were actually
it's a generational plan, like a pyramid, much like building a pyramid. That stupid thing they all love.
Who is the new prime minister that she's like the youngest one? Is it Denmark? No, where is it? Where she's doing 4 days a week. 6-hour days. Something like that.
That takes generations to finish. And that's, if you think about the wealthy, those are people that their plans, like the book Dune shows you, I can't believe how much Frank Herbert got in there. They have plans. Look, when I have all my sons like Kurt Metzger the third, and then he names his the fourth, you see the urge to clone yourself in a new body being played out with your children. You want to make sure you.
All right, so Does Jason agree when he does this or disagree? Oh, what's happening?
When you have when I have all my sons like Kurt Metzger the third, and then he names his the fourth, you see the urge to clone yourself in a new body.
Why? Why? I mean, it doesn't even surprise me anymore. But what are you looking at? Why can't you just turn your head to look at the monitor up there? Oh, that's when you tuned in? Okay. I'll go. Yeah, I'll go back to it and turn the chat on. Okay. Oh my God. And Curb's like, wait, he's doing that again. Why does he keep doing that? He's looking right at it too. He's like, what? Why is he doing that with his eyes? Oh my God, dude. Oh man. That's so sneaky.
Being played out through your children. You want to make sure your legacy and your pyramid is completed. These psychopaths are getting their kids' blood. That guy's not the only one doing that. Brian Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, all right. So, let's talk about some of the eugenic stuff because we just kind of hit on Lutnick.
Well, I just want to say it's a generational project. The New World Order, the pyramid of the New World Order, is a generational project. Wealthy people think in terms, you are like a dog that, you should only live like 7 years in their world. And they're going to breach into her. If you saw that Trivers email.
I have it.
Sean Atwood read it to me like this. I don't like this. Look, you guys.
Right, because how many more Trumps are there going to be in office? Like everyone's like, oh yeah, there's going to be a Trump 2028. What? He can't run again? That's not fair. Like, no, a different Trump. There's a lot of them.
He's right now. I dropped my pipe out. And I said, "Shiver."
He flipped it. He flipped it right on him right when he was doing his bit. Oh, he's using my shiver your timbers. Don't be using my catchphrases, Metzger. Oh, why does it do this every time?
Like this, look, you guys. He's right now.
Watch, he's like,
I dropped my pipe out. And I said, "Shiver me Trivers," because it was the crazy. They're talking about turning humans into different hermaphrodite breeds for their pleasure. They're talking about wild shit.
I mean, again, when you read this, and it's right here, and it's out in the open, I don't want to read because I think this may have got my last video demonetized. I'm hoping even from the text it doesn't read it because it's extremely graphic about transsexual.
Really? All right. Well, I don't want anything to happen to my channel.
Basically, men that transition into women.
But it's the perfect best of both worlds.
Exactly.
It's very positive about it.
And then getting down to the level of talking about 3-year-olds by noticing quote unquote.
Yes, I
trans
agree, Wizard.
tendencies. It's
Yes.
beyond disturbing, my friend. Beyond. But
yeah, it's Adam Cadmon, the perfect being before God separated the divine hermaphrodite, the guy Bad Bunny has on his chest or something. The two-headed divine hermaphrodite, Adam Cadmon. That's from Kabbalah.
There.
They all love Kabbalah.
I got my banner too.
They teach that before Adam and Eve were separate beings. So instead of a rib, it's literally the whole, but
the whole
got
shebango.
watered down. Yeah, and that's the problem. And by the way, they'll be some superior being to us, but they want to. That's what the Adam Weishaupt Bavarian Illuminati would talk about. That's what the noble savage of Rousseau is about. A noble hermaphrodite that doesn't know shit about shit and doesn't think about nothing in there. You see it in H.G. Wells' Time Traveler. What is the time in H.G. Wells' book? You know, with the guy going through time.
Oh yeah. Let me go back to the chat. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, look at that. He probably just saw your chat right there. He's like, you say what? Huh? You think I got big veneers? Don't you know I'm local? I'm Bad Bunny. Oh, why are you doing that?
H.G. Wells' Time Machine?
Mm-hmm. I've never read it.
Really? Well, you've seen a version of it on a thing.
Yeah, but for so long ago, like when I go.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Well, in the future, these beautiful Eloi, there's blonde, beautiful little Eloi, and they're like stupid, and they have everything they need. And then I can't remember what the bad guy things are called. They live underground.
Okay.
You know, like your billionaires.
Wait a minute. I think I do know the story of the things that live underground.
They eat some of them every so often. They go up and they eat an Eloi, and the Eloi allow it. The Eloi allow it because they live nice. And so, look, when I saw it as a kid, none of this shit now, when I'm saying it, as I'm saying it to you, I'm like, holy shit. But H.G. Wells, all these assholes, Jules Verne, all these people, how do Arthur C. Clarke predict the future? Generational planning. That's how. They didn't predict shit. It's called insider trading, assholes. How did the Simpsons predict? They went to Harvard. If you're around powerful people, you know this shit. This is what blows my mind. I'm dumb and I can find this out. It's not, you don't have to trick smart people. You got to trick like real dumbasses.
So hold on, Kurt, because there's so much I want to talk about, but you just said insider trading. Okay. So like just really quickly, and then we're going to go back to transhumanism quick to give you an example. Exactly. This is where Lord Peter Mandelson in 2010 is giving Epstein the heads up on the 500 billion euro bailout before it happens. Do you understand how these people...
Did he share that with the kindly prison guards who are worried about their pensions?
He may have missed that. Hold on. Got a super chat.
If I could just for a minute, Jason, they were saying to me, what about my savings and my 401k? He was like an Adam Sandler-esque...
yeah, you don't think he was genuine? Well, all right, we'll get into the 2-hour Bannon interview.
I think Bill Clinton did fractional reserve currency. If I might, Steve, I've always believed in times up.
Listen, I want to get into that in a minute. Jamalama says, love you, Jason. Love you, Kerp. Smash that like, people. Thank you so much for that super chat. So, we're going to get back to Bannon in a second. Okay, Bannon's coming. Man. This kid is killing me. She knows I'm anyway.
Look at him laughing at you because he's trad.
Is he referring to you in the comments? This kid's killing me in the comments, man. Come on.
And look at Bannon laughing and Chomsky laughing. As the great Michael Tracy said, Chomsky really is giving the best possible response to this hysteria. And that's based on, your ovaries. You're being hysterical.
Yeah? Is that because his wife's been speaking for him? That's a whole nother thing. Hold on. Let's get to transhumanism because it's so in your face. And we've been talking about it. And this speaks to the ego of a guy like this in this class that you're talking about. First of all, I want to do the search for it. Have you seen the Secret Society No Minorities, No Women email?
No.
That's in there. We're going to get there in a minute.
What? Okay.
Well, hold on. Maybe we'll do that one live.
Yeah, well, I think we should.
Okay.
That's good fucking crazy sounding.
Yeah, because they are crazy. That's my point. Did they take
Jason,
down the
I always
Epstein?
think I know this shit, and then it's horrible, more horrible than I thought. But
oh yeah. Oh, you haven't seen that one yet? That's
it's not what makes you crazy, though. What makes you crazy is when you try to tell someone else and show them, and they're like, well, and then you realize like their basis of knowledge is so like, dude, who gives a shit?
Hold on, we got to do this live on air. We got to do some like, even though I'm not a parent. Do you remember? Forget the part where I told you I was on air.
You said that you were going on air as...
No. I said I'd be on air until...
Whoa. Whoa. I am on air. Daddy, Mama said that I might be able to call you. I know it's been a couple weeks. I just wanted to say goodbye before I go on this trip to Grandmama's house. I gotta take a plane. She lives 3 states away. And I just wanted to say goodbye because we never talk. Oh shit, I'm live! Oh. I mean, he is throwing up the 6s to get his point across. I am live. Daddy. Man,
read it again until at least 6, probably 7.
Is that
Go
Bannon?
reread it. I can't help you right now.
Okay.
Oh, you hear that, kid? What? Put it. Am I pushing the down button? Look at that. Why is it doing this? Sorry, guys. I keep. Every time I go back, it drops it down. Oh my god.
Do you remember? Forget the part where I told you I was on air.
You said that you were going on air as...
No. I said I'd be on air until... Read it again until at least...
Oh my god. What?
Shit.
Hold on, we got to do this live on air. We got to do some like,
Nice.
even though I'm not a parent. Do you remember? Forget the part where I told you I was on air.
You said that you were going on air as...
No. I said I'd be on air until... Read it again until at least 6, probably 7.
Is that
Go
Bannon?
reread it. I can't help you right now.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
That sounded like Steve Bannon. Was that him?
No, that is my
Oh,
niece getting out of cheerleading.
Oh, okay. My mistake then. Jason.
And I'm not understanding when I said, okay.
I thought.
Hold on, no women. So it must be something other than that. Here we go. So what do we got here? No women. I guess there's 3 pages of no women. That's no women of color.
What, no women of color for what though?
This secret society meeting. So it's like a. Maybe should I?
I think I've heard of this secret society.
Hold
I think I've
on.
heard of this one. No blacks allowed. I think it's not that much of a secret.
Let's see. There's a secret society. Secret society. Let's go with no women.
Ooh, yeah,
With that.
let's check.
We'll add it up.
Finally.
See, we're doing it live. Thumbs this up, guys, and remember to support the broadcast via the links down below.
I'm dragged.
Oh,
out,
that
as you know,
typing.
Jason. So finally, no women. Just a lot of skinny guys in shirts and ties hanging out.
We might have to go to the gods of Google. I hate
Get
to
off
do
the
that.
screen.
Growing a mustache.
Epstein files, no women,
Oh
no
my God, that
minorities, secret
Oh, you're going to the file for this one? You're going to the archives?
society.
You've
This
never
one might
been?
be their own special rules and immunity. Man, this might be me having to hold on. Reveals a vast global conspiracy actually and all right, so let's talk about that while I'm
It's
reading
called
this.
NATO, you British asshole.
what is this screen?
What a collect, dude! You see me fucking curb stomp that dipshit from the Atlantic Council that tried to ambush debate me. What a little.
What was
muncher.
that? No, I missed that.
Lev took it down. You know he didn't do well in it.
Who's that? I don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, so this is the Lev one. All right. So he's saying he got ambushed, huh?
Oh yeah, I did a Breaking Rules podcast, which is Lev. I forget who's a nice guy. Comedy fans in New York, but I got Jason Giorgiani through him on my show.
Uh-huh.
And he wanted me to talk about Epstein files on his show with his friend Vlad from the Atlantic Council.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and I'm like, all right. So this guy Vlad, who's here's what I picked up psychically that could be totally wrong, Jason. Maybe my fourth eye isn't as gaped as I think it is, and I'm wrong.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'll admit that to you.
Okay.
But what I gathered from just looking him up is his dad's some gangster. They call him a kingmaker from like Dagestan. A kingmaker, that's called a gangster. So that's what I think that is. And it's a bunch of like Jewish
Rainmaker.
fucking Atlantic Council. That's what all that Meyer Lansky kind of. Oh, and he shows me a fucking picture up front of him holding up a black and red flag with a Magi David Star of David on it.
Uh-huh.
And by the way, black and red on your flag.
Sounds like
does that
redacted.
ever not look ominous to anyone? I mean, I go.
Yeah, exactly. That's redacted. Black and red. Commies.
What's that supposed to be? Jubania? Just to be funny, you know?
Mhm.
No, it was right sector. You know, the other Azov fucking Nazi.
Kurt's
fucking
watching.
in Ukraine. Well, it turns out they're cool because some Ukrainian rabbi said it's okay. They're Nazis now. And they're like super far right Ukrainian. So that's Russian mafia. Like in New York, Sherrod used to do their shows all the time. He always says he's doing Russian mafia, but they were actually Ukrainian Jewish mafia. But use Russian mafia, I guess, is how everybody calls it. But I think that's what, because it makes no sense to this guy. They didn't talk. He told me Epstein's just some pimp, and then to forget about him. And then he showed me a picture of him and Zelensky in New York hanging out. I go, so now I'm thinking we're just gonna talk about Epstein files, and we're not getting into it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this guy wanted.
Well, Zelensky's in the damn files as well.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, again,
So,
that's.
I make a joke. I go, dude, if you ain't Zelensky, let me try Zelensky coke. I'll do that, yo. 'Cause I don't want to do coke again. But if it's Zelensky,
Hey, he's not your niece, Jason, okay? You're talking to Metzger. It's like screaming at Metzger like it's his niece. I'll do it in a second.
he's coke. You're not gonna do Keir Starmer coke. You're crazy.
I am crazy because I would not be doing anything.
So I joked about it, and you know what he said, Vlad? No wonder. And Lev took it down. People are like, why'd you take it down? He better take
look at
it
him.
down because here's what Vlad, the friend who just showed me that he hangs out with Zelensky, he goes, oh, he stopped doing coke when he became in authority. I think he said when he became in authority. I could be wrong, but put the video up if I'm wrong so I can see and correct
Dude,
myself.
the guy is, first of all,
I laughed my ass off.
Not just the video of him like doing that blow. If you ever watch him, his jawline's always moving.
He's dancing like a hula girl, like a bitch. Wait. But the thing is, the guy said he stopped. His friend on a stream said he stopped doing coke when he became in authority. Okay, so you just admitted that he is a cokehead, and as we know, cokeheads, they tend to stop doing coke at the time when they have the most stress and responsibility.
And they really make the best decisions because they wait on those decisions and they don't just act out all the time.
Especially during wartime. That's what you want is a guy coked up. But he stopped.
I mean,
he stopped because, dude,
So, just about anyone else that Metzger interviews doesn't have these hang-ups as these people who have agendas. Natalie from Redacted is like that. Jason is like that. Rogan is like that. Like, whoa, okay, well, hey, hold on. Let's get back to this. You didn't, but I just have a conversation.
It's some fucking oligarch groomed him the whole time. I can't remember the dumb name with too many fucking consonants. You really want to help these people? Send them some vowels. That's what I say. Anyway, the dude hung up.
I mean,
on the,
listen,
on
man,
the
the Predivore class, they
you know
do.
What I do? I go put on a kippa when you talk to me like that.
They do
bad.
like putting in people in power that are on amphetamines that can be controlled. Hold on one second. Let's
Who
read
doesn't
some.
like amphetamines? I don't see why you got to eat a baby.
Hold on.
See, he's like, hold on. Well, he's got these these agendas. So in order for him to do his agenda, he has to stop things from happening. And Metzger was talking about stuff. Just imagine if you're being told to stop and hold up. How many times do you want to keep talking after someone keeps telling you to stop? Go back to making little 911 films, Jason.
We'll get to some baby
What am I,
emails
Hunter
in
S.
a minute.
Thompson?
Well,
Baby?
we'll get into a baby emails in a minute. Let's hit some of these
I
super
feel like you're
chats.
edging me with these emails.
Well, hold on. I want to get into the transhumanist stuff, but wait, a regular Kerp and Berm show would be great. Jason seems the best at keeping.
Oh, so he's going to stop the whole show to read the chat. You can't just wait until the end like Metzger does. You know, you're ruining the flow. Like he's stopping the flow every single time. What's he doing? I mean, I'll stop a show to chat with my chat, but we're niche, okay? Like you're trying to cast a wide net with those banners, trying to be the everyday American. So you can't be stopping the show. That's all you got.
Yeah. Jason seems the best at keeping Hurricane Kerp almost on track. LMAO. Hold on, we got more.
I would say Rogan, you know what Joe Rogan told me I am? The final boss of podcasting, he considers me.
Well, I've only met you in person once, but I can totally see you've you hover because you're a big guy. Like telling somebody, like when I tell it to somebody, either we're eye level. It's very rare. I'm like looking down on someone.
My finger down on them while I'm talking, so they know that I mean business.
I'm just saying, if I'm hovering over you, chances are you're like $135, 5'2". You know, we're probably having a face to face. You're a big guy. I could totally see like.
No, everybody doesn't realize it from internet for some reason.
Wait.
I don't realize how tall people are. Mark, my fucking.
Hold on.
Realize it from internet for some reason.
Who's taller?
You hover because you're a big guy. Like telling, I can.
Oh my god! Sorry, guys.
Well, I've only met you in person once, but I can totally see you've you hover because you're a big guy. Like telling somebody, like when I tell it to somebody, either we're eye level. It's very rare. I'm like looking down on someone.
Down on them while I'm talking, so they know that I mean business.
I'm just saying, if I'm hovering over you, chances are you're like $135, 5'2".
Okay, now. Metzger's been saying for quite some time that he's 6'3", and just recently he upped it to 6'4", and now he's saying 6'4". So let's see if he goes back to saying 6'3", because he's been saying 6'3" this whole time. Because I know, because I'm 4'3", and I'm like, oh my goodness, Kurt Metzger and I are almost the same. Except I'm 2 feet shorter. Now I know one day I'm going to be 4'5". That's just 2 more inches. And all of a sudden, Kurt is telling people he's 6'4". Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Jan says, Kurt seems slightly grounded with Bermans. Yeah. It exactly. I mean, that might actually be a good thing for Metzger. But I mean, look at he's like sigh. Gee, I wish I could talk. He's like, hold on. 1538 Stargate says, you guys really have a pro show here. Eye roll. What are you doing, Jason?
Too, we're probably having a face-to-face. You're a big guy. I could totally see like.
No, everybody doesn't realize it from internet for some reason. I don't realize how tall people are. Mark, my fucking engineer on my show.
Sure.
So I met him the first time in person.
Yeah, I heard he's a giant.
He's a goddamn Nephilim.
Oh, okay, we got confirmation that he is 6'4". Okay, he's 6'4".
Hold on, we got more super chats. HG
Wells.
White. Hold on, and I was going to bring this up too.
No, so because he's so excited, he's like, "Oh my god, I got super chats." Okay, that's how I was 2 days ago when there's 1,300 people in here. I was just like, "Oh my god." It was insane. Lemon Bar was like, "You're huge." I'm like, "What's happening?" He's like, "You're doing it, Peter. You're doing it." I'm like, "Oh, it's all there." So Metzger brings in the numbers, okay? And so Jason's like, "Whoa, hey, hold on, I got a super chat. Wait, that's when they pay me to say, well, someone paid me $2. I gotta say it right away. Hold on, Metzger. No, chill, dude. Just you can integrate those at any time. They don't have. It's not on a timer. You can do it at the end of the show, or kind of maybe at a good time. They don't have to be said right away, especially when it has nothing to do with what they're even talking about. But he's getting super chats for the first time. Now, I will freak out when I start getting those things. Oh my god. Couldn't imagine. But in the meantime, let's let these guys have it. Okay, they really need to hear it from us. You got to do better. Okay. And I can take it. Okay, I got people saying all sorts of things about this show, and I'm like, oof. Woo-hoo. I go owl. I go, woo-hoo. That's something to wake up to. So you probably shouldn't be looking at the comments right when you have some coffee. But no. So, but let's get. I'm mad. I'm projecting. I'm putting all my anger on Jason. No, this gentleman needs it. Okay, clean up your screen. Too much. Okay, let Metzger talk. Look at it. I've never seen Metzger like this. And you don't even look at us half the time.
I'm glad this person did, and we didn't get that.
Do better or get out.
Also published a book This is in my film Invisible Empire in 1940 called The New World Order.
Yeah.
About
See
the
the movie?
technocracy. Love your work, Jason. Waiting for your next half hour curp. And here's the thing in that, when they're talking about that transition.
It's funny how everyone thinks this is a disguise. No, it's like Elon Musk when he was explaining how he flew his car up and outer space. He's like, you know it's real because it looks fake. No, this is all real. Okay, it's called untouched. I don't trim like these clippers. Okay, I'm a never clipper. And look at the little clippy face. I couldn't imagine just trimming it and then thinking that your face is going to feel normal. Okay, that's not human. You're a consumer. And you're just buying into trends. You don't even know what it is to be human. And don't even get me started on Jason. Banner Bermas. You got a little dragon. Oh man, you got a little anime. He does like karate. Which I'm okay with. You should know how to fight and defend and protect.
He actually talks about that there's going to be a lot of beautiful, very smart people that are just going to have to die because because the New World Order is legit and it's coming in.
Yeah, so Cyrus's penis must feed. I'm mixing the lore, but yeah, well, Things to Come, 1938, I want to say, England, the movie. It's called Things to Come, about the techno dictatorship. It actually, you could compare it to the lore of Star Trek, how they had a nuclear war after the eugenics wars, and then finally they went to space after a Mad Max period of time, because that's always been their plan. As the great Albert Pike, whose statue Trump,
karate is
dumb shit. Liberals go, that's a
very cringe.
No, he's the founder.
Yeah, karate is cringe for sure. Like, yeah. Very mechanical.
Of all the shit going, he's the 33rd degree Freemason.
Well, hold on, I got good news for you if that's the case.
And we got wizard Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy right here, and a stand-up, and a musician, and he was in a film. What you got, Jason?
Because just this week, Kurt, not only was it announced that we're going back to the moon, but Musk.
Oh, it looks like Metzger's doing a Jon Stewart. This is what Jon Stewart was doing. His Metzger's last interviewer. He was like pushing and petting away this dog back behind the green screen, and then he pulled really far back and started looking. You then saw his huge gut. He had a huge, massive gut. Jon Stewart, the guy that was on the last Metzger. And then he was looking back and looking at all of Metzger's chat. The thing that Jason here will stop the whole show to read a $2 chat. And Jon Stewart was in the back like, Whoa. Oh my God. That has to be $150 he just made. Whoa. It's like, guys, are you okay? Whew, must be rough out there. Huh? Just
Tweeted out that anybody is going to be able to go to the moon within the next 10 years. That's real. And then just yesterday.
This is the first time I've seen this cat. Oh, cute. We enjoy pets, dogs, cats. He uses the shield. Jon Stewart did. Yeah.
A lovely animal. Happy Valentine's Day, people.
Why are you bothering me? She wants me to pick her up and then not pick her up, but then walk
Oh,
around
God.
and meow.
Yeah, cats do what they want.
Wait, was that yesterday or today?
And then on top of that, Kurt, Bezos is out there now
Today's
saying that
Valentine's?
we're going to the moon.
Oh my God.
So apparently,
Bezos.
I know Bezos. Look, let's do some transhumanism. Hold on, because this is
She
big.
runs away. You can't get her.
Have you? I'm not sure if you've talked. I'm sure maybe you've talked about this one on.
Well, as you know, I'm the spiritual successor to Jamiroquai, as you can see, and of course, I know about transhumanism.
So look, despite the fact of Prince Andrew being royalty and a horrific person that has preyed upon.
Oh, John. Yeah, Jan, you think that Jon Stewart had gone to the bathroom? I thought that too. Like he was like, uh-huh. Uh-huh. I'm like, wait, hold on. Did he just pee and... Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, wait. God, this... Seriously, go dark mode, you guys. What is this? This is why I wear sunglasses. I mean, this is... It's not good when we're watching it this late at night.
Teenage girls that we know about that were obviously not 18 years of age. I'm going to give them some credit here. So this is a conversation that was recorded between Richard Branson and Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, of Fuck Airlines, I believe it was called.
Virgin Airline. And again, to his credit.
Oh, yeah, because Metzger's not going to say Virgin anymore. He's not going to say it because he's going to say Clip Virgin. I know it. I know you are. Don't you dare say my name, Metzger. Don't you dare say my name. Okay? Like, keep my name out of your mouth. You won't say Virgin.
They played Loose Change on Virgin Airlines for 2 days until Bill O'Reilly did a big piece about it on Fox News, and then they took it off.
No more revelation of the method for you.
No, Jason. Anyway, in this email from the Predator class, as we're calling them today, not just predators, the Predators, they say this. I had images that the clones on channel whatever, and then she didn't like that very much. Richard says she wasn't here for the no arms. He goes, right. Katie Couric was here. Now, remember, this is all after he's been convicted. They're all having dinner together. So
wait. Richard says cephalopelvic disproportion is what impedes brain development. It's a good thing Katie Couric isn't here. Does she have cephalopelvic
So they're basically talking about these clones as parts, but we'll get there. So they're talking about. So so hold on, we're gonna get the good part. And this is why I'm gonna give Andrew some credit. So basically, they're having discussions of the island type scenario.
Why is it doing
Michael
this?
Bay, also an associate of Epstein. So check it out, Kurt. They're talking about this, and Jeffrey goes, right. Katie Couric was here, and we were talking about I think we should. I want to start cloning things. Me.
Whoa.
And with certain people, here's Prince Andrew.
Mom Dommy. I'm joking.
He goes, Prince Andrew got upset. He was all, if it had a conscience, could you kill it for spare parts? And I said,
exactly.
I'll make
That's
it
what.
without a head.
Oh my God. They're just making these little creatures.
Would that make you feel better? And he says that Katie Couric, I thought, was going to start to vomit.
Oh, yeah. Well, now she knows how we felt when she showed her colonoscopy. Bitch.
All I'm saying is these are the real discussions these people were having, folks, a decade and a half ago. They have the means. Katie Couric was a newswoman, supposedly at the top of her game. She knew who Epstein was, and she's sitting there meeting with royalty and other billionaires where they're talking about growing humans for spare parts.
What year, roughly?
That one? I think the dinner was reported in 2009 or 10. It might have been 2011.
So I was probably at the roast of Matt Lauer. I wrote a bit for Jeff Ross, and so I went to the dinner of it. And Henry Kissinger was supposed to be there. It was Jeff Zucker. He wanted Ross wanted jokes with Jeff Zucker and Henry Kissinger. And so I had some dumb joke that is it Zucker, right? The guy from
Jeff Zucker, yes, absolutely. The Zuckerman is in these emails as well. So I get
Kissinger was going to be there, and I was going to have him say that he looked like Henry Kissinger's penis, right? And then but Kissinger didn't show, so Jeff ended up saying that he looks like his own penis, and it worked exactly as well. Anyway, also Ann Curry, remember Ann Curry? She was like a kind of hot half Asian anchor lady.
Yes,
she was there.
I got on a plane with her once.
Nice. Okay, and then Gilbert Gottfried, I'll never forget. They were cracking up. By the way, it was very funny. If you remember how he talked, I can't do a good impression, but he goes, "Oh, Ann Curry's a beautiful Asian woman." He goes, "I love a beautiful Asian woman. Oh, whenever I can, I love a beautiful Asian woman, girl. A nice retarded." Going off on. So anyway, I always think of that later when they're all like, "Oh, I can't believe the jokes," when they're laughing at and Ann Curry thought it was pretty funny. It was a roast. Mm-hmm. But now looking back, the people on that day is Jeff Zucker and fucking Henry Kissinger. I mean, Henry Kissinger, I didn't know I just knew the Hitchens stuff that Hitchens said. I didn't know the stuff.
All the stuff.
No,
well, here's the deal. This is what I'm trying to tell people. After watching that 2-hour Bannon interview to me, Epstein, and this is why he was so untouchable, is very much at that level of a Brzezinski or a Kissinger behind the scenes with monetary stuff in all arenas. Like, that's who he is. He's like a people manager around those things. Hold on, we got a super chat. What were your thoughts on the Bad Bunny, Jason? Listen, another video for Bad Bunny. We got a million.
Bad Bunny has a tattoo of Adam Cadmon.
Let me say this about that, because he also brought up what?
It's a slang for adrenochrome.
Hold on. He had Lady Gaga on there, who's done more Occultic, Abramovic, literally has the video of the
By the way, Kid Rock also, if you look at his lyrics, they're not good, and everyone was very cool with them.
I'm just saying this about it. I watched it. I've watched a ton of these type of performances, and even with Lady Gaga, like the most occultic person, there was like zero. Don't get me wrong. I saw the red shoes. People have told me, the checkerboard stuff. Listen, as far as what's that?
Was there red shoes and a checkerboard?
There was no checkerboard. Apparently, they're saying the 64 on the back of his jersey represented that. But then I think that Gaga wore red shoes. If that's the best you have compared to other. People
are missing the point, dude. That's somebody saying that is missing the point of the Kid Rock one. The black and white is Kid Rock and Bad Bunny. You look, so you see this.
Well, I think it's all about dividing people politically this year.
Right. Yeah. So the misdirect is to focus on minutia of the Bad Bunny one. I don't care about their gay culture. It's all that. The guy's name is fucking Bad Bunny. He wears a fucking dress. It's all that. Kid Rock is being portrayed. Another rich kid, probably, if I had to guess, a generation.
No, I can't believe that Kid Rock is still a thing. Now, it's cool that he's doing his thing, but where's where the 30 through 40-year-olds that are like making some good rock music? I'll take a good 50-year-old. I mean, I don't want to hear shit from anyone who's under 30. Especially behind a melody. You don't know soul. Hardship. Pain. You think you know what love is?
You know whatist, and he fucking was a construct, and he's got a fake hillbilly thing, and just like the Nuge, they all like him young, you know.
The
And so those
Nuge.
are your, no matter who you pick out, you're either going to get some transhuman freak who's a PDF file, but maybe they're vegan, and then the other ones they eat meat of the children and do that. But they're another species called Nephilim in their dippy heads. I don't believe these people. They came from a land. I think they're liars.
So hold on. Let me start. Let me stop you.
Oh,
What
look at
we
you know,
can
he's,
prove-
oh,
what we
see
can
there,
prove
motherfucker.
by these emails
he keeps stopping
is
them. Loves to stop. It's like that's his way to kind of feel dominant. Because Metzger, and this is what happens to a lot of these tall people. Okay, these short people want to control and dominate them because they feel insecure about their height. So then they put themselves in positions that they can then control these giants just by their words, because their physical strength wouldn't even get them remotely close to doing it
what they think
on their
about-
own.
like,
So they will manipulate you. They will get others to be against these tall people, and they've done nothing. They're just existing, and then people just resent them for having better genetics. Something that is nothing that they can even do about it. So I think you're a weak person, Jason. A bit pathetic, if you ask me. And you want to tear down Metzger just because of his girth. He's out girthing you. Metzger has no girth. He is no, I'm sure he's a big old mass. Yeah. Little Bermans, look at you. But you're messed up now, Bermans. Okay. Get rid of your banners. Then maybe we'll consider watching your show again.
like all right, for instance, before
Yeah.
we get to this email that I sent you earlier, when you watch
He needs to get
Epstein
bullied.
in that 2 hours with Bannon, we got plenty to talk about with Bannon too that we haven't got to. I love that background.
And I do too. After that 2K, oh my God, I got a 2K. I need a good bullying to keep my ego in check. I mean, that was huge. Yeah, that's like double Jeff Dye numbers. And again, I know it's all because of Metzger. Okay, I get it. And then look what Jason's doing. Jason has Metzger on. Metzger is giving him all the views, all the super chats that he's getting for the first time. He's getting all excited about it, and keeps stopping him and saying, okay. Well, hold on. Oh, Metzger. Okay, I'm just going to stop you right there. I'm just going to stop you. Okay, let me just go ahead and stop you right there, because we need to give. Oh my God! We got a super chat. Look at him. You might have to stress shave again to feel once more. It's what people do when they don't have hair to cut. They shave their beard to give them a nice reset.
He gets asked by Bannon when he's talking about finances and subprimes and like the crashing, right? Bannon names like a dozen different economists.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, are any of these guys essentially smarter than you? Who's the smartest guy in the room?
Sorry.
And
so,
when
oh my
Epstein
God,
answers, there's some really telling moments on who this guy
Yeah, I
really
know.
thought he was. He goes, he thinks about it and he goes, I'm sure there is somebody, but I can't name them right now.
Yeah, the
So right
Rothschilds
there-
who employ him.
Well,
He's
I'm
the
just
mouth
saying.
sore on for Rothschilds.
I'm just exactly. He's exactly. Well, that's in the emails when he's talking to Thiel. So he's already got this personal supremacist idea. Okay, let's get that out of the way. And you talk about like a different species or whatever. Like these.
Yeah, he's from money. He ain't a working class Coney Island kid like they say. The Epsteins served the Rothschilds for centuries. Did you know that?
I heard you talk about it. I'm trying to stick to the emails. I know that you're an astronaut and a judge.
Oh, you gotta stay on track. Oh yeah. Sorry, I gotta get to this thing. Just talk to him.
Judge and a pioneer.
You don't get to be.
I know that you're an astronaut. I heard you talk about it. I'm trying to stick to the emails. I know that you're an astronaut and a judge and a pioneer.
You don't get to have a Hunter Biden-esque resume that I have unless you have some achievements, my friend.
That's right. So let's read this email because this is like so wacky. And the fact that the press hasn't picked this up is crazy to me. The fact that anybody, I mean, this to me is like if you were going around measuring the size of people's skulls and saying because of the size of their cranium, they're really smart. Like any of these type.
It doesn't go by the cranium. And it's not how big the brain is either. It's how wrinkly the brain is. That's why I know I have very smart balls. And we've talked about this before. I got some smart ass balls, dude.
If that's the case, I hope that Chappelle never got that surgery that he talked about to make his balls as smooth as eggs.
You'd be a fool to get it. You'd be a fool. It'd be like Samson cutting off his hair.
So here's the email, guys, as we talk about comedians' genitals. This is a discussion between Epstein and somebody who works for Epstein. And remember, there are all these different. He has islands.
Masha Jakova.
Yes. You remember, he has not only the estates, but all these businesses. So he needs to hire people. So they're looking.
Can I read it? I like how it's written really smart.
No, this is the wildest email ever.
Oh, you read it, but read it exactly how she wrote it.
I found criteria to find smart people.
Mm.
The more Jew you are, the smarter you are.
What is she, Chinese?
You said you're over
Bell
or
curve.
around 98% Jew. You're very smart. My ex-boss is 78% Jew. He is super smart. Less smart than you are.
Was he dating the Hulk? You Banner, 98 Jew. That's why the Hulk hates Banner, because he thinks he's 98%.
Listen, as wild as that is, guys, it gets wilder from here.
It's about a self-hating Jew, the Incredible Hulk.
Jesus. Listen, which one, the TV show or the comic book? That's a whole nother
Banner.
Topic. Like David Banner, totally.
Oh, damn, Banner. This. Oh, man. Oh, I just got footage of him calling himself Banner. Look at that little face. Oh, you about to say Banner?
Listen, which one?
I've been calling him Jason Banner for one of my first episodes. Like 47 episodes in.
Comic book. That's a whole nother like David Banner, totally different thing. Anyway, he goes, I have a close friend, business party, who is 99.3% Jew. He is crazily smart. I mean, think
I test him with my mouth.
He took him out of the picture.
That's
about
as, I don't know if there's 100% out there. 99.3 is about as pure blood Jew apparently as you can get.
Goes by how much dill pickle taste there is, how Jewy they are. If you catch my drift, you know how.
She then says we take all Jewish people Sourcing can be done through relatives. Ask them to do a 23andMe test. Now, before I read the last couple sentences, I want people to really think about what this means. So we're going to get a whole bunch of Jewish people, source them through the relatives, then make them take tests. Then if they score high enough, they're going to do an event for everyone who is
impregnate them
90. You got to hit the 98th percentile.
to have the privilege of being graped by Epstein's friends.
Or maybe you're the one doing the graping. Maybe you first get the initiation ritual, like some of the Leslie Groffs of the world and all those other ones. But then you're in
what's that? I don't know what the ritual is. What is that?
Well, I mean, all right. So I've been talking about these other co-conspirators that are now they're listed, but they're blacked out. Like, for instance, when Ghislaine Maxwell in the 2008 Palm Beach case, right? We now know they really did indict her, and they have that unredacted. But then, other than Epstein, they say and that person's redacted. So that's either Leslie Groff, Nadia Marcinko, aka Marcinkova, Adriana Ross, or Sarah Palin. So obviously, he didn't bring these harem girls in without sexual relationships first. So you're part of it, and then
Yeah, Jen. Yeah, so you totally said Banner, and then Metzger was saying Banner too. Oh man, I'm in his algo. You know what's really crazy? You look up Kurt Metzger, and there I am. Oh, and there I am. Never expected that in my life. I'll be popping up when people search for Kurt Metzger. Oh man. Well, welcome to the chat, Lemons. Yeah, happy Valentine's. And we got another Metzger.
you get to be part of it on the other end too, right? Because
he's like a breeder of Trump wives, basically.
So again, this says now they're going to do an event for everybody's night, but that's not enough to be 98% Jewish.
And this is back in 2017.
Can't be an actual religious Jew. Now, this is the only race I know of.
Yeah, just not one of those. That's. I mean, this is pretty much like Seinfeld's writing team. So there's 23andMe back in 2017? Yeah, yes, but that must have been really early on. I don't think yeah, maybe I was hearing about it back then. Maybe 2018 or so. 19. Do an event for everyone who is 98%. Oh, also, yeah. Also, all of them are not religious. I kind of like their hats. Yeah.
You also can't be an actual religious Jew. Now, this is the only race I know of where it's also a religion and you can convert to it. But if you dare are just a conversion person, even if you were 98, say you grew up 99% DNA Jew and you were atheist your whole life, but you converted to their religion, they don't want you.
Wait, why? Now, I know, now, as you know, I'm hardcore Noahide, but wait, why? Now, I know, now, as you know, I'm hardcore Noahide.
Yes.
Is he trying to remake the Stephen Bannon banners? But look at this. It's like, oh.
Wait, why?
whole life, but you converted to their religion. They don't want you.
Wait, why? Now I.
Oh, man. Oh, that hurt? Why do you gotta drop your smile so
You
fast?
converted to their religion. They don't want you.
Wait, why? Now I know. Now, as you know, I'm hardcore.
Gulp. Oh, man. Hold on, watch this. And look at him. He's just like, oh God. This is what they say about. It's like, oh, this is what they're talking about with Jason. God. You know, by showing this, they're gonna take the future away from me. That's what they do with the updates. They always take away my hacks that I discover.
Don't want you.
Wait, why? Now.
That might be a little too slow. You guys get it. It's a little wild on that one. Let me just do a 50.
I know.
Converted to their religion. They don't want you.
Wait, why? Now I know.
I like to get some kind of hotkey where I can just do it manually or with a hotkey and not have to do it manually like this. But that was a little strange. What do you guys think? Was that a normal smile? Does that look weird to you guys too? Yeah. Slow motion Delia. Oh, really, dude?
Now, as you know, I'm hardcore
Yes.
Noahide, but when
And then she goes, "Do you think this makes sense?" Right? Just
yeah, I mean,
crazy.
first of all, this guy would say anything to get laid. We've learned that much about him.
Uh.
Yeah, sounds great, sweetie. Can you imagine how annoying this girl's accent must be when she's talking about a dumb breeder party? And you just want to have some jerky and some pizza.
Well,
and have a
here
good
she
time.
is. You want to see her? I mean,
Yeah, let's see. Is she hot?
yeah. Let's show her to everybody. Get
Oh,
this
you
up.
are smart like Jew, Jason Bermas.
Well, she's a rich dude. That's what I'm telling you. When I was telling you she's a
rich what?
powerful person, she's like a venture capitalist. She's on the level pro-Kremlin. This is how they're trying to link him to being like a Putin person, even though he's not.
Oh, because
Yes.
I'll bet you that's okay. So Chabad, that
Or the dark mode.
kind of cutout that proposes as some kind of Jewish movement that basically tries to reconcile the Jews that don't like Zionism, that are Orthodox, that they call ultra now, right? They're called ultra Orthodox.
Yes.
I thought it was the final form, like Dragon Ball Z. That is not what it is.
Mhm.
What it is the Zionist ones through these like Schneerson fucking this creepy cult, just like the Moonies, like the Junies, you call them. Like they're like Moonies. They're a construct, and the whole goal is to like get this weird ecumenical thing. But you'll notice left or right, they all move towards Zion. Trace that. You could trace that with a lot of people, such as your Michael Tracy's and Matt Tabibis, who did.
Okay, so that glitch right there. Okay, that is a change in the brainwave activity that then distorts the Wi-Fi or the Bluetooth signal, probably Wi-Fi, and it's when it's really heightened. So it's either when you're like really angry, really mad, or you're laughing. just like Monsters Inc. Okay. And what he just did there.
Trace that. You could trace that with a lot of people, such as your Michael Tracy's and Matt Tabibis, who did good work and all of a sudden didn't, because you're like,
Here you go.
oh, remember how they were sane about identity politics when everybody wasn't? Because they had Zionist backers. And that's why, as they try to, hey, let's get back into left and right nonsense, guys, and forget about this stuff.
Well,
I didn't take it back further. Let me go back here. You'll see a glitch out.
Zionist ones through these like Schneerson fucking this creepy cult, just like the Moonies, like the Junies, you call them. Like they're like Moonies. They're a construct, and the whole goal is to like get this weird ecumenical thing. But you'll notice that is kind of cut out that proposes as some kind of Jewish movement that basically tries to reconcile the Jews that don't like Zionism, that are Orthodox, that they call ultra now, right? They're called ultra Orthodox.
yes.
I thought it was the final form, like Dragon Ball Z. That is not what it is. What it is the Zionist ones through these like Schneerson fucking this creepy cult, just like the Moonies, like the Junies, you call them. Like they're like Moonies. They're a construct, and the whole goal is to like get this weird ecumenical thing. But you'll notice left or right, they all move towards Zion.
Right there.
You could trace that with a lot of people, such as your Michael Tracy's and Matt Tabibis, who did good work and all of a sudden didn't, because you're like, oh, remember how they were sane?
Okay, so that little glitch, that happens when the mind is excited, and this technology that we're using now doesn't work when our mind is running at peak. It'll start. You'll get the spinning wheel of death. It'll start lagging on you. You're like, why isn't it working? And it's those times when you're maybe come back from a run or doing exercise, and then you try to use your phone and it doesn't work. It's because your mind is very active, but not in a cluttered way. It's like a delta or omega, theta brainwave. So, in order to really use this tech effectively, you have to be at a lower mental state as to not interfere with the bandwidth or the Wi-Fi signal, the EMF signal.
Sane about identity politics when everybody wasn't, because they had Zionist backers. And that's why, as they try to
it's like a No Child Left Behind
nonsense, guys, and forget about this stuff.
Well, Taibbi, again, he attacked me many years ago, 9/11 Truth. He did really good work in the financial networks. Then he started doing good work during COVID again. I mean, he'd always done
insiders on his team, if you know what I mean.
I don't want to get into all these different, journalists, but they also seem kind of, let's just say, socially different. Whether
they're all cutouts. Oh, no, by the way, not only are they cutouts, Bob Woodward was a fake Navy intel piece of shit. He never did good work after the Deep Throat story. He never did good work again. It's funny to hear Bill Murray talking, because they all hated his guts for that fucked up John Belushi bio he wrote.
Yeah.
Everyone knew John Belushi. Wow, that guy's a piece of shit. He's an intel spook, that prick. And your first job out of the Navy Intel Service is the biggest story. Well, this is way bigger, by the way, than Watergate.
Well, they just released more Watergate documents that seem to show that he got set up by a Kissinger, by the way.
That's so you already know it's part of the Monarch thing.
Yeah,
And so Nick Shirley, first of all, when you hear a political Mormon, I want to make this clear, everybody. If somebody's a Mormon in politics, that's one of them left-hand path Mormons. I can promise you that, because a lot of Mormons are very nice. A lot of them women hold up because they never smoke or drink or nothing. Well, the most of, not as much as like the Gentiles they would call you, but the ones in government, like your Romneys and such, that's left-hand path of God. That's
Goyim.
Get J.R. Sweet's Mormon Monarch book. It talks about Gail Pooley, who's friends with Peterson, and Peterson's doing podcasts with Gail Pooley. If you understood what So I didn't even know the guy was like alive or around, this guy, when I first read about him. So now I'm obviously, my opinion's been colored by this. But then when you see what happened to Jordan Peterson and what a Jungian zombie he became, and I feel like they ran a dialectic scam on him on both ends. Like, first the crazy liberals want you gone, and then the crazy right wingers buy you off. The way you do to a whore if you were in the mafia back in the day, right? You how did the mob, the Jewish and Italian mafia, both of them, they would pimp girls. They'd have them graped. They'd set them up. Then they come in as the savior. That's a pimp game. If you're not comfortable saying conspiracy, you can say pimp game.
Well, yeah. Well, all right. Let me stop you there,
game.
because even in the pimp game for politicians, they use that prostitute to the same thing with the politician that is at the wedding, at the party with the woman, and then they game you. Let me read a couple of these super chats. Please research Sabrina Wallace, biofield hacking, wireless body network. Okay, we'll look into that. And then we got this other one. Have either of you read the J Messenger messages between Bannon and Epstein? Epstein was arranging Pope visits with the Saudis, like WTF. Bannon, honorary JEW. Hold on. Let's hold the Bannon thoughts.
No, that's the Vatican, my friend.
Well, yes.
Yeah. Don't pile on the Jews if you're a Catholic. I can't say this to you enough. Whatever religion you are, you think is better than the JOOs, they're in on it, asshole. I'm sorry to tell you the truth, but your thing that you think is good is in on it with the people you think you hate, just so you know.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Bannon quick with this relationship with Epstein. Bannon's trying to take out Jerome Powell and Steve Mnuchin with Epstein's help.
Well, all right. I think I've kind of had my full of Jason. So it makes sense why I never really watched much of him. Don't really like how he directs the show. And I'm bored. And Metzger looks like he's bored too. So that is a little bit of the Kurt Metzger wave that we've experienced. So we'll get some more in the pipeline, folks. Okay, we're not doing all Kurt Metzger. It just hit a wave, and we rode the wave a little bit, and we probably rode it a little too long, but we appreciate it, Kurt Metzger. Keep putting that stuff out there. Get that cognitive dissonant bell ringing, and we'll be hearing the chiming of their cognitive dissonance. And all the compilation comedian content curators, it's all Epstein, all this. Let's take a look. We'll dip into a little bit of Matt and Shane's secret podcast with Dan Soder, Chris O'Connor, and Billy, and see what we got here. I need to get a little bit motivated. I mean, Jason Bermans really just puts a stop to the shows all the time, so I'll remember that next time going in to skip his. We'll skip his. But maybe tomorrow we'll take a look at Tim Dillon's The Best Podcast Ever, according to Joe Rogan. This one right here. That'll have its own day. We probably should have done that today, but I wanted to finish out the whole Metzger trilogy, his trilateral agreement with me and Ben Avery. And we said 3 in a week, please. But here we are. Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. We'll check it out. We'll see you kind of what it's about. Maybe we'll finish it tomorrow.
It smells.
No. It smells like ranch.
Do you ever spit up that stuff that was like concentrated or tartar as a kid?
No.
You ever spit up like a ball of just...
Oh, like phlegm or what?
No, it was like...
All right, so we got finger smelling. We got people wearing pajamas. Put your hand on your knee. The music room in the back. So this is not at Shane's place. It's well lit. That's how you can tell, first of all, that's not at Shane's place. That table is outdoor furniture, indoors. But you can just go ahead and leave your hat on.
I think it was like a thing that my buddy had it real bad. He had to have like surgery. It was like something wrong with his tonsils or something. But like, I think there's a period during your adolescence where you can cough up the...
Is Gillis golfing now? Gillis is looking a little golfy. Gillis, you golfing? With... Who's that singer who's super thin right now? Not Jelly Roll, but the other guy he does the beer commercials with. You golfing with him as he's wearing a cowboy hat and denim?
It's just like a solid house of tartar.
Are you talking
It's
about
like a
tonsil
pocket in
stones?
the back of your throat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's a tonsil stone. Yeah.
Like a gumball machine?
They smell like fucking assholes.
Do they really?
Oh.
What is it? It's just fucking gunk?
In your tonsils, they like it's little like deposits of shit. I don't know.
Damn.
It
Just like,
Did you do that? Is that what's happening?
It only happened like once, but my buddy had it so bad he had to get like surgery.
You smelled it? It did smell bad?
Yeah, when it came up, I was like,
did he one time it?
Turn too long?
Tag and throw out.
no. It's like an alien egg, dude. Because I smelled.
So Soder is like the he's like the cool uncle, because you gotta be pushing close to 50, bruh. And he's a distortionist. He loves distorting his face. I mean, I've done nearly 50 episodes, averaging 4 to 5 hours each. Some up to 9 hours, 8 hours, 7 hours. And I've yet to distort my face like that. It's because I'm not trying to sell you something. These indicators. You think just because you're on tires that you know how to act. When you don't even know how to live. He's got the worst bookshelf I've ever seen in my life. We did 3 hours just on his shitty IKEA bookshelf. His shelves are flipped the wrong way and have exposed particle board on the edges.
It didn't smell like anything, and I broke it, and it was like, oh my god!
Chris, you were a curious man. I mean, dude, if you got one of those, he did gender altered. He tried to poke his nipples when they were getting puffy as a boy.
I know a kid who did that, but his dad had him on HGH, and his nipples started lactating.
What?
And then he put a fucking pin in it and squeezed it.
Can I tell you, as a
Yeah,
puff
did
nipple guy, that's crazy.
Forever?
Listen, I've been a puffy nipple since I was a boy, but
One second, folks. My computer is lagging a bit.
here's what you do at the public
That's
pool.
sexy.
You do a side tickle.
One second, it's frozen real quick. Let me get it. Let me get it taken care of first. Doesn't look like it's wanting to unfreeze.
Go. Get them things down.
Oh,
There we
really?
go.
And you look great.
This gets your nipples down?
You just go like you tickle
You get
around
hard
it, and you get like hard nipples. You get
You
cold
get your
nipples.
nipples hard before you get pulled.
Yeah, why not? I'm not walking around with puffy nipples. Puffy nipples
Currently
makes you
have
look
puffy
crazy.
nipples?
Always, dog.
Whoa!
Not like crazy puff, just like a little
Yeah.
puff, just like pillow.
And you never thought about getting rid of them?
Now, what am I, The Rock? You know, The Rock had nipple surgery.
Really?
Yeah, when he was like Rocky Maivia and he came in, he had like big puffy nipples, and then you see him a couple years later, and it like looks like
Yeah, you gotta do that. Yeah, if you're a pro wrestler, you can't have.
Was that?
That's a fucking disaster.
That's crazy. That's like elbow pads on your
Yeah,
tits.
you're just definitely a heel.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do.
You have to have straps. That's
Yeah.
straps if you're pro wrestler.
You in the Vader suit.
Sometimes you got to get a surgery because you're like, if you take steroids, you get like gyno and like you get like fluid build up in your nipples. Wouldn't know Lifetime Natural, but
You are Lifetime Natural. Matt's juiced to the
I saw a
gills.
picture of him the other day, dude. He's like
juiced to
actually
the
like
gills.
fucking big. Looks like Jocko Willick. Dude, I saw a picture of him in the back.
Can't make my birthday party good. Don't want to make me a call on my 40th? Good.
Matt's juiced to the gills. We pray for him. We pray.
Dude, I hope he just takes over Austin when you're gone.
I mean,
You come back and there's gates built.
he's fully, that's the Austin lifestyle. He's juiced, dude.
Biohacking.
Yeah, you got to go down there, get giant with hot dog neck. And that's
Yeah, that's good stuff. Well, I'm glad you're here, dude. I want to settle this Austin, New York beef once and for
the
all.
gayest thing. I hate it. Dude, it's like it is like a old person with dementia. Yeah. You go, Hinchcliffe. Hotel.
The deadliest game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Lemaire thing was like, I didn't even know. I got told like Bush got told the towers got hit.
Yeah.
I sat down for the regs and they whispered into my ear and I was like,
The Lemaire got attacked, bro.
Yeah.
Lemaire got crushed.
We put his tweet at the end of our intro this week.
No, it's,
Did you see it?
yeah, listen.
No, so did
No.
Oh my god.
Lemaire's got
It is my
full
favorite tweet.
MSNBC brain.
I mean, I don't know.
It's wonderful.
MSNBC brain is crazy because now that means you also have stuck through the shifting, through the trans surgery that the network went through, where it's like, that's my dead name. My new network name is SN.
Yeah, he's all about that shit.
Really?
And I swear to God, if it's on The View, he agrees.
Dude,
He could
can
be
I
the
tell you-
sixth chair on.
Just to let you know where Lemaire's brain is, my grandmother,
Austin's greatest defender.
he's the guardian. He's the guardian of the mantle.
He's a chimera.
My grandmother, before she died, I want to say like 93 to 97, would just, we should.
You got a little too excited there, huh? Now look at this. Now, we all know what this look is. Okay, that look is the look you give pretending like you don't see the person that you just text looking at the text, because they are texting back and forth and they're texting about him, and he sensed it and saw it, and it's because he's a little giggler. So here he is, getting the grin response. Oh, and look at, so they are for sure texting back and forth. It's like, oh God, can you get it? God, this guy can't stop giggling.
Know where Lemaire's brain is? My grandmother,
Austin's greatest defender.
he's the guardian.
He's like, yeah. Oh God, can you believe him? God. He's like, yeah. Oh my God, look at him. This is one of those thick little dirty guys that talk shit about everyone to make himself look cool. He'll ask you to help him move a friend. So they're texting something back and forth, and I think it's all this giggly guy.
He's the guardian of the mantle.
He's a chimera.
My grandmother, before she died,
And this is what people in relationships do. It's like texting, and then he's like, ha ha ha. What are you, who are you texting? He's like, oh, no. It's like, ha ha ha. Huh? Who are you texting? And he's like, oh, no.
my grandmother,
Austin's greatest defender.
he's the guardian.
Yeah.
He's the guardian of the mantle.
He's a chimera.
My grandmother, before she died, I want to say like 93.
He's like, huh.
Chimera.
My grandmother, before she died, guardian of the mantle.
He's a chimera.
My grandmother, before.
You've been caught. he sees you texting about him. Axe giggles. They're like,
Before she died.
look at, oh man. And that, just imagine being like glared at like that. And like, he's like, He's like, what you talking about? And watch this.
I want to say.
He puts it down right when he looks away. And you just pretend like you didn't see anything. And he's pretending like he didn't do anything.
Like, no.
And then look at that. Oh man, look at that. Get rid of him. Done. He's like, done. Oh my god. Wait, isn't he in the show too? I bet he's actually really small too. Are you like me? Like 4'3"? He's like, oh my god. This guy already. Oh my god. These are the clip virgin moments, folks. If you want to know what the show's about, it's about these little moments.
93 to 97 would just, we should wake up. And
all right, so now, and then here he is receiving the message. And that's the looking away, acting like you're not noticing him looking at the message.
just blare The View at like 73 volume. Yeah. So when I'd be in her,
that's what's happening in my house right now.
I would just wake up and hear like Joy Behar being like,
I'm sorry, he's not okay.
And you're like waking up like grandma's guest bedroom, like, what the fuck is that? Let me see.
That's me.
Here, I'll tell it to you. Alex Jones.
All right, now. Let's see how play out.
He agrees. He could be the sixth chair on.
Just to let you know where Lemaire's brain is, my grandmother,
his greatest defender.
He's the guardian.
Giggler.
He's the guardian of the mantle.
He's a chimera.
My grandmother, before she died, I want to say like 93 to 97, would just, we should wake up and just blare The View at like 73 volume. Yeah. Would just, grandmother, before she died, I want to say like 93 to 97, would just, we should wake up and just blare The View at like 73 volume.
I don't know.
Volume. Yeah. So when I'd be in her,
that's what's happening in my house right now.
I would just wake up and hear like Joy Behar being like,
I'm sorry, he's not okay.
And you're like waking up like grandma's guest bedroom, like, what the fuck is that? Let me see.
That's me.
Here, I'll tell it to you. Alex Jones.
Let me see it. Let me see. No. How about no? I'll just read it to you. You don't need to see my phone. And he's like, what you guys talking about? So he's got the old Saint Nick sideburns there. And when he bends over, he's got a friar tuck. That's his reflection. And he's got a old big old friar tuck in the back.
might be the biggest victim of this Epstein shit because like he tried and then he fell for the Hillary shit and then he kept falling into Epstein traps. Joe Rogan too.
Yeah, fully concise thought.
It makes I can't even decipher what that means.
I love.
I think.
What do you think it means?
I think it's one of those things where you're gonna look at it backwards and see the pattern.
Actually, he's speaking to us strictly in code.
like listening to Led Zeppelin backwards.
Go see, it was Dershowitz the whole time.
Yeah,
He was telling.
That's high level.
the only time I talk to the man now is
Nato undercover in a suit.
just my
My mayor is a character.
my
Oh,
Ring
keep
camera.
interrupting him.
On my Ring camera, I see him pick up his Grubhub. So I get to anytime the thing, I get to talk to him and go, put the fucking Twitter down, bro.
Dude,
Delete your Twitter. And he's like, okay, I will.
So there's that big ogre guy again. Okay, this is the guy who's gonna talk shit about everyone, so he can just, yeah, man place. What do they call it? The spread, man spreading. Oh, and he's just gonna like.
I get to talk to him and go, put the fucking Twitter down, bro.
Grab himself.
Delete your Twitter. And he's
Okay.
like, okay, I will.
it's so funny.
I got some good photos of him scratching. Like
You
night
have a
vision.
Nat Geo
Night vision.
camera
I do.
of Lemaire.
They're gonna adjust
It is,
himself.
dude. It's like those live cameras of falcons on
You
skyscrapers.
don't need to see your legs.
You go, ooh, he's eating again. That's him. That's him picking up the
You guys say that? That's so fucking funny.
He wants to see people's phones so bad. He's nervous that they're texting about him. He's like, we are, don't worry. I didn't show him. Like, haha.
You should put it on the like local Facebook group. Like, has anyone seen this man at the front?
I film him collecting.
please turn
collecting his pizza.
Please turn him into Austin Sasquatch.
He's like, here, I'll show you. From way over here, I'll show you. Look at, see? No, oh, you want to see my phone? Here, I'll show you. Here, I'll even here. It's, see, it's right here. What are you doing, Shane? Just go. What? Right, yeah. You're like,
Oh no.
Oh, that's so.
Make a highlight
Cheers
video.
to you. I love
I
Lemaire.
gotta call him to wake him up too. He'll order Grubhub and fall asleep.
Yes.
And
how many times is this guy going to adjust his shirt off of his gut? Okay, just leave it alone, or wear a thicker shirt or something. You're like adjusting it all the time.
Oh no.
Adjust.
Make a highlight
Cheers
video.
to you. I love
I
Lemaire.
gotta call him to wake him up too. He'll order Grubhub and fall asleep.
Yes.
And I'll just keep checking the Ring camera and be like, dude, your food's still outside. It's been outside for 2 hours. He's like, oh, I fell asleep.
You gotta do a highlight video to "I'm a Boss" by Rick Ross and him picking up Grubhub.
Yeah, that's what he's up to. Excuse me?
What?
Why'd you touch my...
Oh, we got an inner thigh. Uh-oh. What we got here? That was a Norman nudge.
Yeah, that's what he's up
Picking up Grubhub.
Yeah, that's what he's...
See what I'm saying? It's these guys. Big old ochres, like, and then they latch onto these people. They latch onto their host, and then anyone else that shines a little bit, that laughs a little, yeah. laughs at Gillis's jokes. He's got to up at one. One more.
Up to. Excuse me?
What?
Why'd you touch my leg, bro?
Companionship.
Okay.
Nothing more.
Sick. Yeah, I'd be a little concerned too. That's a attention jealousy right there. He was jealous of the attention that the other people were getting, and so he wanted to, make sure that they were still that he was the favorite one still, because Gillis paid a little extra attention to him a split second before the show started. What's with people wanting to have like this ownership? Like, just need a little companionship. It's like,
Bravo. Yeah, that's
I mean, you can just tell by looking at him too. Just dirty slob. Right in the leg. He wants to touch people. And be like, what? Nothing. No, you just basically like molested Gillis.
that's what he's up to. Excuse me?
What?
Why'd you touch my leg, bro?
Companionship.
Okay.
Nothing more.
I did that the other night. I ordered McDonald's for the first time in a long time.
Which night?
Arch just called your name?
I think it was Friday. Could have been Saturday.
Was I with you? Because you've been putting together some performances.
Really?
Yeah, your comment?
Yeah.
Well, I will say the whole crew, because we got to work Monday through Friday. So then Friday rolls around. You go, we're going to
TGIF.
The squad's not used to not being able to drink during the week.
Like, do you know those? You guys have
Well, you pulled a dastardly trick on Saturday where
I hate this. Oh my God. I can't have a hang, okay? It's like, hey, we're just guys just hanging. Man. Just doing a pod. Trying to make your 54-year quota. Yeah, that's right. Soder told us all about it, Gillis. Okay, you're just phoning this in. I'm going to see this big old ogre guy here adjusting himself the whole time. Then touching your leg. This is a very disturbing room. No color. It's like, if you got a bunch of chess stuff everywhere, let me get out of this mode here. Okay, if you got a bunch of chess stuff everywhere, you ain't smart. I mean, I got people asking to play chess with me all the time. And you don't see me putting chess pictures on the wall. Okay? Because I'm a grandmaster. And they want to Shot at the title. You ain't getting it. I'm never competing again. I'm gonna die with the title. It's just so tacky and just so boring. Just like the show. Yeah, Janet saying is lame. So lame.
You were like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm going to go across the street and watch the Flyers game. And you were like, you gave me every indication you'd show up. And then I just started throwing them back. I was sitting alone in
I showed up to the bar like
10
p.m. He was already back in bed.
No.
he went back to sleep.
You went.
It just
Fucking ripped by himself at a dive bar.
And then blame you.
He was like, "Where were you?" I was like, "Because I didn't told you I was coming."
I sat down and started drinking. Why didn't you? Why were you there?
It would have been nice. I feel like I had something to do.
I don't think so.
I couldn't have gotten.
yeah, this is. Yeah, I agree, Jan. We gotta play. This is boring. It's like and because there's no substance here. This isn't like even Jamie Kennedy's interviews, and I guess even some of his solos feel like there's a bit of substance, but they're all just hanging out because they have to. Like, hey, let's just put a couple in the pipeline real quick. You know what? I think they're I think if we find we might be drunk. Oh, he had a lady on. He's not going to be nudging a lady. Oh yeah, that's the Godfrey one. Oh, that Godfrey one's so good. Yeah, it looks like we'll have to wait until they come out with another one. Yeah, in unpodcast. Yeah, dude, you think that that's what they're trying to do? Make it feel like it's not. There's like these no effort podcasts that are so trendy. What'd you see? Oh, that's what they're trying to do in the podcast. They're like, oh, I saw something. Oh, wow. Um, Maybe we can take a look at the second half of Jimmy Kennedy's solo. Maybe we can get over this Epstein thing. There's so much Epstein stuff. Oh, you're saying you saw?
Rooted somewhere in the files.
Oh, you saying something earlier today? You saw something? Okay. Yeah. If you got something, let me know. Oh, wrong button.
Google it. Google it. I got.
Oh, that does look fun.
Saying there's so many. I can go to Indiana. I can go and get a hip chicken anywhere. KFC. So why is such a
Okay, so now I think Jimmy Kennedy's seen some of our stuff because he has stopped. He'll go to his face and then like pull away real quick, where before he would linger for a long time. But now every time he does it, he'll do it and just like, oh, I just did it. Dang it.
and I can get a hip chicken anywhere. KFC.
And again, I've never touched my face. This is all that he does.
See? So why is such a huge brand doing such a big marketing thing when I don't think a lot of people eat there? Now, none of this stuff should be weird to you because this is all rooted somewhere in the files of like an offshoot of this shit that's in the files, right? Let's just see one of the comments before I move on. Goodbye, KFC. The fact this is advert is real. All the comments are...
God, look at this. What is he... What are you... Imagine if I just started reading text messages. I think I really want to... I think I'd rather play the Norman Nudge. Is that Bert Kreischer?
It's getting better. It's getting better. If we were playing a game called Hot and Cold.
Wow. That's a bit loud, huh?
And like wrote a book about him or wrote about him. I swear to God.
Whoa.
Isn't that crazy when
you
you
gotta
go...
save some of this for History Highness.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm not good enough in history. They'll correct me. Isn't it crazy to think, what was it? Thomas Jefferson and Napoleon were peers.
No.
Google it.
Doesn't it seem like Napoleon's older?
No, yeah, that's right. No,
Whoa.
Napoleon, he was cooking, dude.
So
for a
Louisiana
while.
Purchase.
Yeah.
Louisiana.
$5 million.
Louisiana's from King Louis.
Yes.
Oh, you knew that.
I knew that. Well, I'm from there, so we
that's
heard all
right.
about that. But, you know,
Dude.
and
Wait, we saw some of this already. Nah. Let's, sorry, folks. I thought we were going to watch Metzger, but I couldn't handle much of Jason. And, it's what I should have led with this, and I didn't. But we need to do the Tim Dillon one. People are talking about this. I should have done this just as a separate little episode, but actually, maybe I should. It probably needs that kind of attention. I just didn't want to do another Epstein day. Oh, man. Yeah, I think we're going to have to maybe save that. And let's dip into a compilation.
Epstein files are a very pressing matter in American politics right now, so in today's video we're going to be taking a closer look at the files and seeing what stand-up comedians' names have come up, as well as the explanation and reactions that some of the comedians have given in response. So if that sounds interesting...
Sorry if the screen's shaking like that. I don't know why it's doing that. All right, here we go. Oh, you're saying... Oh, you want to do Dillon? Yeah, we can do Dillon. Yeah, it'll get a little bit more lively.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tim Dillon Show. Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay, and again, this is, not to hype it up too much, but let me go ahead and pull it up here on my phone. I'm going to read it like Shane Gillis and all them were doing. Joe Rogan said this is one of the best podcasts anyone has ever done, ever. Capital ever right there. Tim Dillon is the greatest ranter that has ever lived. So he was surely just high off his kilter. But I'm sure this is a good one. Now, what I wouldn't do to be able to rant, like to, again, like go full screen and be like, hey, but I'm too digital. Okay? I'm too digital. I don't got HD. All right? So I got to stay small so it looks nice and sharp. So too digital. So Tim Dillon, on the other hand, again, the further away you are from the lens, the more money you got. And that's why I'm real close. But we can get a little bit of Tim Dillon in peak mode. Now, again, I should have led with this. But here we are. The show is organic.
Fan of Whitney Cummings. That's a nice thing. So much of what is being talked about right now. Welcome to the Tim Dillon Show. Jeffrey Epstein, fan of Whitney Cummings.
Cummings. Oh my God.
That's a nice thing. So much of what is being talked about right now is negative. But Jeffrey Epstein, fan of Whitney Cummings, friend of the show, and liked her
The giraffe whisperer.
squirting routine and would see it in West Palm Beach after raping and torturing the children. He would, after a rape and a torture of the children, can you imagine being raped and tortured and then hearing the person who did it go, now I'm going to go to a comedy show? That's another level of sociopath. You have to respect that level of sociopath. You're raping and torturing children, killing them maybe, and then you go, all right, let's take a break from this. I'm going to the Improv. And then he would sit there and laugh at comedy. He would go to the West Palm Beach Improv after strangling a woman, probably underage, a girl, strangling her to death. Some women were saved by the fact that he had to go to the West Palm Beach Improv to see Whitney Cummings. Some people are alive today. Right as she was about to lose consciousness, he goes, fuck, I remember. I've got tickets to the Late Show at the West Palm Beach Improv. Go see Whitney Cummings. There are people who draw breath on this earth today. And that's something nice. Jeffrey Epstein files, of course, out. About 50% of the Epstein files are out. 50% are still behind lock and key. Files, very disturbing. We're going to go into it. It's fitting to remember this, though. Let's remember Kash Patel, who is the director of the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and he is on it. If there's anybody who's
showing
on
his
it,
angles.
it's this guy. Let's remember, because everyone has been reading these files for the past, 3-4 days. Everybody is sending each other emails. People are reading tweets of emails, threads of emails. You're on the subway. You lose service. Fuck. I wanted to see that email, that file. I'm in my car reading the files on the 405 in traffic. I'm reading files. I look across. Someone's on their phone. I don't know what they're doing. I bet it's reading the file. We're all reading the files every moment of every day. And the files suggest that all of the things that people feared, like there was a pedophile network amongst the elites that was used as leverage to blackmail people or to, at the very least control them, is all true.
Control
That's
history.
all true. It's all indisputably true. But let's think about it. What were the takeaways? Because Kash Patel, of course, had this information before we did. It's worth revisiting Kash Patel's takeaway. What did he glean from all of these documents? And I'm sure he's got ones we haven't seen. Let's take a look now. Everyone in the world now knows that there was 100% a human trafficking operation where Jeffrey Epstein was procuring girls for wealthy and powerful people. Everybody knows that. Friend of the show, Kash Patel, let's see what he got out of it.
Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have.
I've talked at great length at all Kash Patel and how he speaks. He's like, do you not think that if we had it, I would show it to you yesterday that the people are involved? They're like, are the people involved? Are the people? He's like, sir, are you asking me if the people are involved? If the people are involved, I would have known yesterday. It's like, why are you saying it? It's because he's always talking to his honeypot girlfriend. She's always trying to extract information from him. And he's like, do you think that I would hold that information from you? No. If I had that, I would give it to you.
Again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
In the file.
In the case file.
You don't have to be the director of the FBI to see that this guy's trafficking women. He's trafficking underage women. You don't have to be the
That was a good good desk swipe. Very David Letterman.
You don't have to be the director of the FBI to see that this guy's trafficking women. He's trafficking underage women. You don't have to be the... So, Kash Patel's a liar. He's a big, fat liar. He's a liar, and he should resign and step down because he's lying. Why is he lying? Why would he tell such a fib? That is a lie. It is a lie, and he's bad at it. He's terrible at it. And we knew it was a lie when he said it. And now it's such a lie, it's actually funny. It's like a junkie who's like, no, man, I'm just tired. Like, we know you're on drugs. He's lying, and he knows he's lying, and he does that thing when you're a liar. You're like, you kind of have an out-of-body experience where you go, is this working? You can see. There's a moment. Play it again, and I'll...
Look at this. He wishes he had my abilities. Okay. So yeah, you don't have to like cast spells to get your way. I can just do it myself. I can zoom in, pause it. They're all going to go to this method. Okay. You got to have some control in your narrative.
I'll show you exactly where the moment is where he's curious if it's working. Kash Patel.
Did Epstein traffic these young women too, besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday.
Now watch closely. Watch closely here.
Trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is...
Well, let me just stop here too, because Kash Patel will actually say the answer by saying it's not the thing, but he'll say that it is the thing. Now you have to follow what I'm saying here, but he does this every single time. All right, watch this.
Watch closely. Trafficked to other individuals, and the information.
Okay, now this is the question that he had asked: has he trafficked to other people? And before he said it was just to him, and now he's about to say
information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one.
All right, now watch this.
For the information that we have
in the file,
in the case file.
Oh wait, let me bring it back.
Himself. There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday.
Now watch closely. Watch closely here.
Trafficked to other individuals.
Okay, right there. That he trafficked to other individuals. So he's actually saying, okay, because he's like, did you traffic? He's like, he trafficked to other individuals. So he is saying, yes, you're right, he did. But he's saying it like, oh, if I didn't know that information,
I would bring the case yesterday.
Now what?
See, I would bring it out. I would bring it yesterday if that was the case, that he did traffic to other individuals. See, so he then subliminally lets them know what the answer is.
Watch closely. Watch closely here.
Trafficked to other individuals, and the information we
That
have,
he
again, is
trafficked to
limited.
other.
So the answer is no one
For the information that we have
in the files.
in the case file.
Okay. Now, President Trump.
The information that we have. So he knows he's lying. When he says that, he goes, the information that we have. He knows he's lying, and he's wondering, hey, is this working? Is this going well? Am I lying effectively? Let me specify what I mean. The information that we have. Now, we know that he has all the information that we have and more, and much more. Now, it is obvious to anyone that this guy was a human trafficker. He was trafficking women to this island. And now it gets dark because these files talk about torture. They talk about, they say disgusting, heinous things. They talk about, they say disgusting, heinous things. The littlest girl was really naughty. Then they're talking about torture. They're talking about pizza. Remember Pizzagate that was all fake? Everybody's they're all talking about pizza. It's weird. It is odd. It is strange. And these are code words. We know that. They're actually code words for pedophilia. So it's like, I've gotten calls from people going, wait a minute. Am I crazy, or am I now in QAnon? Now, maybe you're not in the far reaches of QAnon, which is like Biden died and was replaced by a clone, or, you know what I mean? That's hardcore QAnon, but I think we're all QAnon light. We are all QAnon light right now. Thank you for a fun night. Your littlest girl was a little naughty. That's to Jeffrey Epstein from a redacted name. These redacted names are the pedophiles that the United States government is protecting. These redacted names are the pedophiles that the U.S. government is protecting. Who are these people? Who are these people? Get up the torture one. There's the email about torture. Go look through these. They're all incredibly creepy. And the redactions in the files are to protect the names of the pedophiles. Remember the lying? They go, well, the victims. We want the victims to be protected. And we don't want to show you kiddie porn with the victims. We don't want to put the victims' pussies out there. This is the pedophiles they're protecting. They're protecting the victims. They have emails. Yeah, how about this? Where are you? Are you okay? I loved the torture video. That's from Jeffrey Epstein to Redacted. So Jeffrey Epstein received a torture video from someone, and he responded.
I feel like they're just using it as maybe a bit of leverage and blackmail to these people. So who's ever redacted knows that their name is behind that. And they got to pay a fee to keep it redacted.
Hey, where are you? Are you okay? I love the torture video. Now, let's break that down. Let's just break it down. Let's give everyone the benefit of all of the doubts. Where are you? We don't know where someone is. By the way, I don't think I've ever, that's odd to email. Where are you? Where are you? Are you okay? That might mean that someone's been up to something. They've been getting wild. Where are you? Are you okay? Is what you say after a wild night of boozing. You're wild. You had a wild night of boozing. Where are you? Are you okay? We saw you.
He's got the issue with the glasses too, and the headphones. Those big old glasses. Smashing them now.
You're drunkenly stumbling to that car. Did you guys make it home? Now, this is followed up by 5 words that are pretty insane. I loved the torture video. Where are you? Are you okay? I loved the torture video. From Jeffrey Epstein to Redacted. No evidence? Cash Patel? No evidence of any wrongdoing? To Jeffrey Epstein from Redacted. I am in China. I will be in the U.S. second week of May. Sent by BlackBerry. This was the old days of the BlackBerries. Many of you kids don't remember this. In the old days, when you trafficked women and children and tortured and ate them, you had BlackBerries. You had BlackBerries. Remember that? Before the iPhones? Before the TikTok and the iPhones? You would eat somebody's intestines and then go on your BlackBerry. And this guy, so there's email after email like this. Email after email creepier than the next. There's photos. This guy's got a trap door in his fucking house. Can you get up the trap door that leads right to the ocean? This guy was on an island.
Wild.
There's a lot of pedophiles on land. This guy went to an island because some things go to an island and don't come back, by the way. That's why you want an island. You want an island because some of what's coming to your island is not leaving your island.
Doesn't Johnny Depp have an island?
So this is the trap door. Make that as big as you can. That leads right to the sea. So if you were a woman on the island and a billionaire had rough sex with you and killed you intentionally or unintentionally, would Jeffrey Epstein report it? Or would you go down the chute? No media is covering this. Shame on them, by the way. Shame on them.
That's pretty sick too, because what it could have been is that they're still alive and they just told them to climb down the ladder and they just shut it on them, and then they just had to hold on to the ladder while the tide rose. That'd be even sicker. And then sharks are... It's like you're just watching horror movies constantly when you have to think about this stuff. So...
No media is covering this. Shame on them, by the way. Shame on them. No media covers this. They're not covering this. They're covering like parts of it, and they're dancing around everything. What is happening if you're on that island? Get up the email to Ghislaine where he goes, "I'm thankful I didn't kill anyone." Now that means that someone started acting up. I've read credible journalists that say, this doesn't say that there was a pedophile ring, and this doesn't say, this is just rich people hanging out with other rich people and ignoring a guy who might be creepy because they wanted to be around a cool guy with an island. The excuses made here are unbelievable. And look at who's making them, and remember who's making them, by the way. Look at who's making excuses here and remember who's making them. If you're a woman and you went to that island and you got killed, are they reporting it? Or are you going down the chute do you become shark chum? I'm not trying to make light of it. I mean, listen, I'm being funny. I'm a comedian. It is what it is, but I'm telling you what's happening here, folks. Dear Ghislaine, many thanks again for your amazing hospitality. This is from Martin Nowick, so we know who this is. Isn't he a professor?
Yeah, mathematics professor.
So Rogan is completely opt out of being like this, like trying to do this kind of stuff. Rogan has gotten the call. You know, he's got the Illuminati money, so you can't be talking like this. So he has to go to that Jesse guy who talks about aliens all the time. Because they're all funded by Palantir.
Where is he teaching?
I think Austria.
Oh, dear Ghislaine, many thanks again for your amazing hospitality. I am so very sorry I caused you so much worry and that I spoiled this day. I am so happy that I did not kill anybody. My perspective of life has changed somehow. Lots of love, Martin. What do you think he did? What do you think Martin did? I'm going to give you 3 options. Do you think Martin spilt a bottle of expensive wine? That's choice A. Let's read the email again together. Dear Ghislaine, many thanks for your amazing hospitality. I am very sorry I caused you so much worry that I spoiled this day. I am so happy that I did not kill anybody. My perspective of life has changed somehow. Lots of love, Martin. What do we think Martin did if we had to take a guess? Option A, Martin spilled a very expensive bottle of wine all over the couch. Option B, Martin had a little too much to drink and went on a very uncomfortable tirade about the shifting demographics in Austria. Option C, Martin had rough sex with an underage girl and almost killed her to a point where that girl had to either be taken out and gotten medical attention, and he ended up spoiling the day, and by some sheer luck, that underage girl didn't die. My perspective of life has changed somehow. Lots of love, Martin. Which one do you think he did? You think it was the wine? You think it was an uncomfortable political tirade? Or do you think this guy almost killed someone that they set him up with? Do you think this guy political? Which one do you think?
So, is Tim peeing right now? Is this what happened with Jon Stewart? He was being interviewed by Kurt Metzger. He just had his hand down there for just a little too long. Like he was pissing in a bucket. And then Tim Dillon's hand comes up right from the center. So it's like his hand's just on his crotch the whole time. He peeing?
Of life has changed somehow. Lots of love, Martin. Which one do you think he did? You think it was the wine? You think it was an uncomfortable political tirade?
Okay, he just shook. He just went like he just shook after he went to the bathroom. Look at this.
It was the wine.
Okay, watch this right here. He's pissing right now.
You think it was an uncomfortable
Look at that right there.
Political tirade, or do you
See that? No, he wasn't doing that before. So I'll back it up and we can watch it. And then right at the end, he's like, do you think it's because he's like getting ready to end.
girl didn't die? My perspective of life has changed somehow. Lots of love, Martin. Which one do you think he did? You think it was the wine? You think it was an uncomfortable political tirade? Or do you think this guy almost killed
I don't know. That's pretty
someone
close.
that they set him up with? Do you think it was almost that person almost had to go down the chute for the Sharks? That was what that person was almost there? This is my
That is
guess.
sick.
Do I know if that's true? I don't know, but these people are a problem. I can't say enough about NeuroGum. I love it. So many people that tell me they're sluggish mentally, they don't feel it. Like they're always trying to optimize their life.
Well, interesting. Yeah, I don't know if he was pissing in that one, but it looked pretty.
I'm glad you asked.
Pretty close though.
When you listen to Jeffrey Epstein talk, he's talking about transhumanism. He wants to seed the world with his seed. He obviously doesn't believe in the concept of the soul. He doesn't believe in anything like that. He believes that you can sculpt humanity. There was a lot of transgender talk. And again, I've obviously no problem with legitimate trans people, of which there are not as many as you'd think if you went through a college campus, like actual trans people. But Jeffrey Epstein clearly liked the idea that gender is very malleable and that you could, and lots of things in life are malleable. And he wanted clearly to build another body. And he was obsessed with scientists, and he probably wanted to upload his consciousness. And he was a transhumanist. Not that different from things that, Elon Musk and people like that have said. It's humanity's destiny to merge with artificial intelligence, and we can engage in some type of eugenics. This was all Epstein stuff. He had all these creepy scientists that were at the island. They were doing all this fucked up shit. And he was also engaging in these conversations. So Jeffrey Epstein clearly believed that humanity was a scientific endeavor. And I want to bring up Luciferianism, please. Bring up Luciferianism. Bring up the definition of Luciferianism. Let's bring up Luciferianism. It is a philosophy or belief system that views Lucifer not as a devil, but as a symbol of enlightenment, independence, and pursuit of knowledge. Folks, we're getting somewhere. Folks, I think we're getting somewhere. It emphasizes individual responsibility, critical thinking, the balance of light and dark, often drawing from Gnosticism or occult traditions. Unlike Satanism, which may focus on indulgence or rebellion, Luciferianism focuses on self-deification. I am God. Wisdom and personal growth. Jeffrey Epstein and many in the ruling class are Luciferians. They believe, whether it's aesthetic or not, they believe all of these things to be true. They don't believe there's any moral code outside what they can get away with. They believe that they are deities and gods and that they should be able to upload their consciousness and potentially live forever, and that you are biological waste that they should be able to fuck and throw in an ocean for sharks. This is true. It's absolutely true. Now, they might not say it. They might not go, I'm a Luciferian. Now, some of them will. But they're obsessed with Moloch, who's a god of child sacrifice. They're obsessed with Baal and all these things. They're obsessed with demonology. They're obsessed with this idea of becoming their own god. They're obsessed with child sacrifice. They're obsessed with engineering humanity through things like eugenics. Hitler was an occultist. A lot of people around him were occultists. A lot of people in Los Angeles are occultists at much higher levels of the business, that you hear about. You go back to the 60s. They made a lot of great music, whatever. But there was a fair amount of occultism then. More cults come out of, Southern California.
Well, now that we know about where all the, all the 60s music was all CIA led. And so they're going to kind of put the occultism into that, I guess.
I'm sorry, Northern California. More retards come out of Southern California. I always mix that up. More cults come out of Northern California. A lot of those occultists were involved in the United States military. Michael Aquino. This is all very obvious. We were on this shit years ago on this show. It's all out in the open right now. So what is the hope here, folks? I'll tell you what it is. Bill and Hill, I did an episode years ago called Bill and Hill's Last Kill.
Oh.
And it was about how
Quentin
as you get
Tarantino,
older,
Kill Bill.
you realize that life is finite. And that even though you would like to live forever and be a deity and whatever, that you're going to go into the dirt like everyone else. So I thought that the Clintons' final kill was a beautiful thing where they had one last security guard or someone they had to get. Forget who it was. Doesn't matter. The people come and go. So Bill and Hill did one last kill together. It was one of my favorite episodes. It was on the Patreon, and I talked about that. I talked about the kind of the sense, it's the guy, he's coaching his last game. He's coaching his last game. He's got his lady in the stands. Now, instead of that, of course, this guy's coaching his last game with his lady, and there's, whatever, ordering someone's death. Bill and Hill, you got to remember, Donald Trump fucked this bitch over in a big way. Hillary Clinton's wanted nothing in her life but to be the president of the United States. Life has had no meaning to her outside of that. None. What is life? To have a mildly, this kind of weird looking daughter and this fucking guy who's cheating on you every other day? Stop. It's not what life is. Life for Hillary Clinton has been about the acquisition of power since she's a young girl. People mistake her. They're like, is she a lesbian? Is she a this? Is she a that? Hillary Clinton cares about only one thing, and it's the acquisition of power. And the deal was she was going to sit through Bill Clinton's escapades as long as they did not fuck her political career. She didn't care. She knew Bill was a scumbag when they met. She knew he chased pussy. She knew he was probably violent with some of the women. She knew where he was from. She knew he was a liar, a cheater, and a rapist. She knew it. But he was also one of the greatest politicians to have ever lived. And she knew that if she hitched her wheel and wagon to him and helped him greatly, they would attain levels of power. And they did. And, these were the podunk governors of Arkansas. Sure, the intelligence community felt safe with them because they let a bunch of coke get flown into Mena, Arkansas, whatever. Sure, they were, Carol Quigley, who wrote Tragedy and Hope. Bill Clinton went to the Bohemian Grove. He was selected. Like, people knew who he was. They knew who he was. They felt comfortable with him. The ruling class felt comfortable with him. He was a guy you could control. He was chasing pussy, probably had a couple of out-of-wedlock kids. Who knows? But Billy Boy was a guy you could control. He likes puss. That's what he likes. So they controlled him that way. And, of course, there were political battles and fights and impeachments and whatever. But Bill and Hill were a force to be reckoned with. They defined the 90s. Chubby Bill Clinton jogging around, talking to single mothers in a Wendy's parking lot, telling them he cared about them, their eyes welling up with tears. Bill Clinton is a political dynamo, okay? Not a good person. We covered that literally seconds ago. But politically, he's a genius. His wife is cold, but she's calculated. She keeps him on track. She makes deals. She manages the staff. She's an operator. She's a behind-the-scenes person. She's not a front-of-the-camera person, Barry Weiss. Pay attention to this. She's an operator. Hillary is good at operations. Now, you have Bill, who is the star. Hillary is the supporting act. 2 terms. Incredibly popular. Hillary Clinton becomes a senator from New York. Obama takes it from her the first time. Young, black, charismatic. Comes in. People like it. They like this guy. He's cool. He's calm. He's collected. He's cerebral. He's everything He's everything George W. Bush wasn't. Obama becomes the symbol of the corporate neoliberal takeover. Everyone in the Washington power establishment, most of them, not everyone, but a lot of them, love Barack Obama, especially John Brennan, who's the head of the CIA. Love Barack Obama. They feel comfortable with him, and perhaps they know things about him other people don't know. Okay? He was probably like a cool, dope smoking, bisexual, whatever he was. Okay? So he's being controlled to a degree. Everyone in that position's being controlled, by the way. So you have Barack Obama. He takes it from Hillary. After 2 terms of Obama, Hillary still has a shot. Now the road is paved for her. Oh my God. Here comes Donald Trump. The Clintons are big fans of his candidacy early on because they think he's going to be a goofball and a joke. They would love to run against Donald Trump, they said. We want to run against this undisciplined wacko. No one's going to get behind this guy. He'll either lose interest or he'll spiral. He'll get caught up in some messy scandal. Because again, they all know each other. They all know each other. But they have this weird mutually assured destruction because they both think they're going to win. They both need all these billionaires. So as much as he's teasing the Epstein stuff and she's teasing some of Trump's behavior, Hillary, and Trump shows up to the debate with the women that have accused, after they grab him by the pussy, everybody thinks Trump's done. He shows up to the debate with these women that had all accused Bill Clinton, including Juanita Broderick, who accused him like credibly of rape. But this is all political theater because everybody knows there's something that no one can talk about. We can only tease. And that's the trap door and who goes to the fish. Bring up the door. Now, who goes to the fish is what we can't talk about. I can say you're doing sexual assault. I can say you're a misogynist, but we can't talk about who goes to the fish. Okay? Now, Trump wants the Epstein files gone. Kash Patel wants them gone. His girlfriend, I don't forget her name. What's her name? Yentl? Anyway, she wants it gone. All of these people want it gone. Nobody wants these things out except a collection of podcasters, the American people, the victims, whatever. But all the billionaires, all the media, all the political people would rather them go away. Trump would rather these things go away. But Thomas Massey, Rogan, other people, they're pushing it. Pushing it, pushing it, pushing it. Marjorie Taylor Greene, pushing it.
Well, that's a little bit of Dillon there. Going on a little bit of a tirade. Pushing against the government. We might save the last half for next time. But we got a lot out there in these watch later sessions where we take a look at the comedy culture through a satirical lens and interweave philosophical interplays throughout the commentary. Again, that's what my AI says. But old Tim Dillon, this is the one that Rogan said was the best in the world. The best ever he has ever heard was this one right here. So take a look at that. We might revisit that along with some other clips. Get some source material. But thank you so much for hanging out. We might be incorporating a little call-in session. Yeah, we'll see how that goes, and usually too, like, kind of depends on the material and the night, but kind of open it up a little bit And maybe we'll do it on game night or something where play Norman Nudge. But again, thank you so much for the watch. We are Clip Virgin, the watch later sessions, and hope this slowed things down for you at the end of the day, so you're able to sleep and be rested instead of listening to all that news. But it's leaking into the comedy scene too. But we'll just go through this news cycle, and but we'll look for that comedy out there, that funny, and it's out there. It's out there. We'll find it. But again, I appreciate it, and next time we might revisit this one or take a look at a few others. Thank you very much.